focus, I barely as dope as me. Success the only thing that give me dopamine. I didn't come to watch, I came to ball my best.
Well, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to Poland, back to the PGE Narodowy in Warsaw, the capital city, where we are once again hosting the biggest drift event that Europe has ever seen. My name is Ian Waddington, and I'm joined alongside my very good friend Jacob Gettins. Jacob, we are at the Red Bull Drift Masters finale, where we have seen some incredible scenes in front of this packed out stadium. 55,000 people have come together to witness history tonight.
Yeah, it's overwhelming, it's breathtaking, it is incredible that our sport that we all love so dearly has come to this level. It's flabbergasting. I don't know what to say. It's crazy. It's crazy.
It certainly is crazy, and we've seen some crazy scenes. Our top 32, if you hadn't caught it already, was nothing short of spectacular. And what we're about to witness this evening, well, is going to be the winner of this event with one podium, and then on the opposite podium, we're going to crown all of our top three in the championship. The third place is still up for fighting. There is still three guys in contention to take third step on the podium of our championship. And if you hadn't caught us, you know we would have caught the champion being crowned. Well, here we go. This is our side act that me and Jacob was luckily enough to be involved with. This was our race of legends that included some incredible drivers. Timmy Hansen, David Coulthard, Matthias Ekstrom. These guys laid it all down on track, Jacob.
Yeah, it was wild, and these buggies are an absolute handful, but they made it look easy in a lot of ways, and there it is, the champagne already being poured once, but it'll be happening again, especially for this driver.
Yeah, Matthias Ekstrom got the win and won our race of legends here in Poland, and then shortly after that we had our top 16 driver parade where we brought all of those guys out, all of those titans onto the circuit in front of the crowd, and there he is, the man of the moment, Conor Shanahan, the 2025 Drift Masters champion. We brought him down and gave him an interview in front of all of the fans, and look what it meant to him as Shanahan just soaked up all the atmosphere, and you can see all of these drivers bringing out their national flags and soaking in the atmosphere, and that man was crowned the champion here in 2024.
Yeah, he knows what it's like to have the crowd go crazy, and it was one of the loudest experiences of my entire life. I got a second to stand out there and really get the whole thing in, and it's been a crazy year that's led us up to this point, Ian. It has been a roller coaster, to say the least.
It certainly has, Jacob, and this is the calendar, and this is how we got here. It was round one in Rome that was cancelled, and then we kicked it off in Spain, where Randal took the win. Looked like a rock-steady start for him as we got through. It was the usual contenders that kept taking the top spot all the way to here in Warsaw in Poland at the Red Bull Drift Masters Grand Finale. He's been crowned the champion, but who will be crowned the winner of this very special event? Well, and this is how we're standing after qualifying. This was the scores. They went into it head-to-head. It was Conor Shanahan and Peter Vinesk who was leading it. Poland versus Ireland going head-to-head, tied on 390 points. But as we say, that third spot in the championship is still up for grabs. But let's take a look at what happened to Peter. Why did he fall out of the championship? Why did it lose? Well, this was it. It's all started with his top 32 battle against the Norwegian driver Espen Rode. It all looked good for Vinesk, an incredible lead run as he laid it down. It looked like Espen Rode was bringing the fight, but unfortunately, right at the end of the run, as you will see, the car took a failure, Jacob.
Yeah, and it makes it so tough because look at how perfect this lead run is for Piotr. Everything seemed dialed, that the path to that championship was basically paved for him to be able to take it to Conor Shanahan in our top 8, but then things get a little bit hairy through our last and final zone. Watch this, Piotr's car starts to slow, goes through the finish line, and that was the beginning of the end for his championship run here in Poland. It was hair-raising, to say the least, when we saw Espen make contact with him, and then, things just got crazier because we weren't sure exactly what all happened to the Supra.
No, it certainly wasn't. And then we see these incredible onboard shots from our Red Bull Media House team as the head drops from Vinesk, and he realised that car wouldn't start. But outside, in the gridding area, in the paddock, Shanahan was watching the broadcast, and you can see what it went to him. The shake of the head. He wanted to win the championship, but he did not want to win it in this way. None of these guys would. And look at that. Vinesk turns the car off, looks down in absolute distraught, and he can't believe what has happened.
Yeah, flag still waving. There was a little bit of glimmer of hope. Everybody wishing that something might change as the emotions flowing out of Piotr. realizing what has just happened to his championship race as the clock counted down to the end of his season.
Yeah, 2 minutes to get back to the start line. Unfortunately, that time run out, that car unable to start. That meant that was it for Vinesk. The championship was over. Heartbreak in Spain, heartbreak in Poland, in front of all of these fans. It happened last time in 2023. Will this man ever win a championship in front of his home crowd? As outside, elation, celebration, as the Shanahan family come together to enjoy what was to be another win.
I don't know what to think about right now, to be honest. Yeah, definitely we want to come back next year even stronger. The car performs excellent. We just need to dial up really small things and it's going to be great. So I'm sure that for the first race of the next year, we're going to prepare 100% just to make sure that no mechanical issues we're going to eliminate us. And yeah, fingers crossed. And for now, guys, enjoy the show and have fun.
Well, that was it. That was the absolute heartbreak from Vinesk. Shanahan went out to meet him, and this was the interview with Conor Shanahan.
What a feeling. I never wanted to win a championship like that. I really wanted a battle with Peter tonight. So huge respect to Peter and all the Worthouse team. One of the best teams in world drifting. You know, they proved it so many times, and crazy that a mechanical like that took him out. And I really don't know if I had the mental strength to fight for a championship tonight. So you know what, I'll take for it.
There we go. The Shanahan's outside celebrating with a team that had fought hard all year, and a family that had come together round on round to make the dream come alive. And look at this, Vinesk absolutely distraught. This man has been through the ringer and back. This is what the heat tree looked like in our top 32. Some heavy stacked battles, Jacob. Incredible top 32.
Yeah, it was wild. It had everything from a bunch of one more times, but the battle that everybody watched, Espen Rode, Piotr Vincek, and that was the conclusion to the championship. That all went down there, but it does lead us to this top 16, and there's so much more still on the line to battle for tonight. Both the championship, the win here at the event, third place in the championship, and for drivers, just a lot of bragging rights to be able to stand on the podium in front of all these people.
It certainly is. Well, there's three guys that are in contention for it: Pavel Corpulinski, James Deane, and Jack Shanahan. There's a lot on the line for third in the championship, and that now really is where the fight is focused, with the championship sealed and dealed. And not only that, also the win of this event is big for a lot of these drivers.
Yeah, and so many drivers just wanting to battle up to try and make it to different parts of the season standings, try to get to the top 20, try to get to the top 10, top 5, whatever it is. Everybody that is left here still has something to fight for.
They certainly do, and this is what they are fighting on. This is a custom-built circuit in 2 days here at the PGE Narodowy in Poland. They fire those cars into outside zone 1, then bring the front wheels into that inside zone 2. Then it's across to the wall to inside zone 3 before they transition to this very long wall outside zone 4. Full throttle all the way, keep as close as you can to the wall without touching it. Then it's out wide to outside zone 5, that touch and go before you transition back once again on the throttle, full throttle in outside zone 6. Then a small correction, a change of line ever so slightly before you get to outside zone 7 and across the line. It seems so simple. We speak about how easy it is all the time, but for us it is very simple, but for our drivers it certainly isn't.
Yeah, and it's become so precise. We saw one of the craziest qualifyings last night, and it's just the driving is just stepping up every single battle. Lead, chase, commitment, everything is getting harder for these drivers.
It certainly is. We'll have a look at right now our top 16 heat tree, and this is it. It's going to be Hines versus Van Oort, Nakamura versus McKeever, Banet versus LZ, Corpulinski, Falvey, Keski-Korpi, Rode, Laurie Heinonen, Shanahan, Deane, Correia, Shanahan, Randal, Pavel Corpulinski, Conor Falvey. A big battle right there. Two guys that are very consistent, very good line drivers, but a man that's fighting for third in the championship. And there we have it. The 2024 champion takes on the 2025 champion. The two-time champion takes on only the one-time champion. Laurie Heinonen there, I think there's going to be a point to prove for him.
Yeah, for sure. He hasn't had the season he's hoped for, just with some mechanical things plaguing him, but now it's time to battle back as one of our newest fans of drifting, David Coulthard. Now, I mean, he's pumped to be here, and we're pumped to have him.
Well, here we go. No messing around. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for top 16. Well, back on the line we go and ready to kick off our top 16 in spectacular fashion. It's going to be our wildcard driver, Alan Hines from Ireland, in this Nissan Silvia S15 to take on Clint van Oort from the Netherlands. Clint van Oort going to one more time with our top qualifier, Jakob Kroll, took him down in a very scrappy battle. Judges saying that van Oort needs to clean it up. Alan Hines, though, the sim drifter, the man that had to prove himself here at Drift Masters. He may be good in the virtual world, but it's all about being good in the real world right now. Revs are building, cars are in gear, and they're creeping off the line. This is the first battle of our top 16 underway here at the final of Drift Masters. They fire in Hines into that first outside zone. Look at Van Oort, though, aggressive, tags the wall, tags Alan Hines, has to back out of it. Oh! Clint Van Oort mistimes the transition and hits the wall head on in front of the grandstand, as Alan Hines will be shown a red flag, unsafe to cross the circuit. And we wait to see if Clint Van Oort is okay. He's in the car moving. It looks like he's given the thumbs up to our marshal. And that is big, big impact with the wall for Clint Van Oort.
Wow, and yeah, we're seeing a lot of damage. I mean, that, I'm not sure if he's running a front mount rad, but if he is, it is completely leaking. And one thing, you know, we got to look at is he okay? We saw that movement, but just mistiming things, getting lost a little bit in the smoke, being super aggressive as we saw previously. And in this case, I mean, he moved those blocks like they were nothing, and that shows the amount of force that went into it. Want to make sure he's all right. He's going to be shaken up for a long time, but
yeah, look at this. He's out of the car. Alan Hines straight over there. Clint Van Oort still smiling. The Dutchman will have a smile on his face, and he's definitely put an impression on Drift Masters finale here in Poland. And look, still once again smiling, but that was big impact. Completely mistimed that transition and hit that wall head on.
Yeah, that was big. Oh, man, I'm once again, I'm very, very happy that he's all right, and we're gonna start seeing some of the scenes of what all transpired.
Yeah, look at this on the replay. Look, he goes nice and well, he goes too wide into the wall, and it kind of upsets the line. And as he goes for it, he's lost in the smoke on the transition. Look at that, boom! And Clint Van Oort hits the wall.
Man, pulling it up from Race Data Labs in the Wally system, over 70 kilometers an hour is what he was doing, just head on into the wall. Oh,
there we go. We got the onboard from it as he transitions, and he sees it. Oh, look at that, the way he shrugs. And this is why these guys wear all of the best safety gear with inside the car and on themselves to make sure that any kind of impact like this isn't
it's not
too painful. Yeah, look at that, absolutely unbelievable.
That was a big hit, to say the least, and we saw him kind of grit his teeth and bear it, knowing exactly what was about to happen. Wow.
Well, look at this, scenes down there on the track as we try and recover cars and rebuild a wall. Our lady down there, our queen on the ground, is Becky Evans. She's with Clint Van Oort. Becky, is Clint feeling okay?
Clint, first question as always when one of our drivers has an incident. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm perfect. Still smiling, so.
Can you tell us what happened inside the car there? Did you see it happening in slow motion?
No, not really, because in the fourth corner I got a bit tucked behind Alan and just got lost in the smoke. But of course I don't want to give up and just hope like my, you know. So yeah, I just tried to do it blind, and yeah, I failed, so.
You just said to me a second ago, you were like, at least I went out with a bang.
Oh, I definitely went out with a bang, I think. Not the way I wanted, but it is what it is.
It is what it is. Well, we're glad that you're okay, Clint, and we'll be happy to see you again next year at Drift Masters. Thank you so much.
Oh, definitely. That's the plan.
Guys, back to you.
Thank you very much, Becky. He's still smiling, and he certainly went out with a bang. And Clint Van Oort, look at this. Alan Hines looks on in a bit of disbelief, maybe.
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago. I mean, back in Ireland, where Alan Hines had a big impact as well.
Same incident, yeah.
Yeah, he is fully aware of what that feels like and has probably the most empathy, as the judges obviously going over to Alan Hines. Another driver not wanting to win like that, but will be moving on, as our crews out here already getting Clint's car up in the air and over onto the truck. That did not take long. They were very, very efficient. And we talked about Clint maybe needing another car, and this might be it. This might be it for that chassis. Yeah,
well, our queen is back down there on the grid, still walking around looking for some more gossip. She's with Alan Hines, the Irish superstar. He's got himself into the top 8, Becky.
Alan, you've got yourself into the top 8. You must be feeling delighted right now.
Yeah, there's no words to describe it. This amazing stadium. I don't think I had words to like predict what it's going to be feeling like in here, but the battle with Clint, I knew was going to be records and checkers, and we got a bit lucky this time. I think Clint was on a storm, he had really good momentum and stuff, so look, we'll take it, we'll move on, but looking like the next couple of battles for us, whoever we meet next is going to be very interesting and very special, so we're taking it one step at a time, and hopefully by the end of tonight we finish up strong, so that's the hope.
You seem to be quite at home in the Lucky Day S15 here. I mean, what is it like to drive this car? I mean, I know that your S14's had a couple of knocks over the season, so it must be great to jump in a car which is so sorted.
Yeah, for sure. Look, my own personal car, I've been competing in it for nearly 10 years, and you know, when you're fighting for championships and national championships, you're driving with really great local drivers, your car gets tired, and we really finished it off at Drift Masters Mondello during the season, and look, they gave me this amazing opportunity. I can't thank them enough. We're here driving this thing like we've been driving it for a year, I feel like, and I mean, it's not been the case. We've probably barely got 16 laps in the car since I picked it up last weekend, so what a dream situation for me, for sure.
What does the track feel like for you? I mean, like, it's always interesting when you jump into a new car. This is the first time that you're really driving this. Can you give us an update on track conditions?
Yeah, it's quite interesting. I was kind of not sure myself. I decided to go a little bit harder with the car setup for this particular battle with Clint, and it felt pretty good actually. I do think I had a tiny mistakes in my lead up until the point when we were stopped, but for the most part I think we're feeling fairly strong. Track conditions feel fairly consistent. That's all we ask for as drivers.
Brilliant, Alan. Well, congratulations, you're into the top 8. Go have fun. We'll see you soon.
Well, there you go, Alan Hines. Yeah, as he said, if you guys have been following Drift Masters for the full season, you would know that Alan Hines had a similar accident in his own personal S14 in Mondello Park, in his home track, and had to retire that car for a competition here at Drift Masters when he got the wild card call up. And yeah, and Alan Hines jumped in that car only 6 laps.
Yeah, not a ton. I mean, I'm sure as a very prolific sim drifter, he would have put in a bunch of time back at home, but it's different. It's very different. A computer can only do so much to show you what things are going to be like. It can get very, very close, but ultimately when the crowd is screaming, when the track is changing, run over run, and more rubber's being laid down, it's a very, very different situation. Look how quick our track crew able to get things back and lined up. We're, you know, not far off from getting back to the action here. I was told that apparently these blocks special built for this event, and they actually have a marking on them to indicate that as well.
They certainly do. Yeah, they were built and designed by the owner of Bookmat, who is one of our leading partners of Drift Masters, and these blocks specifically designed for drifting. They have special recessed corners. They interlock in a way where these can't move. Predicted, you know, you've seen it before where guys have been, you know, running the wall, they kind of move and wobble and you get a sharp edge. These are designed not to move in that way, so these guys can run the wall without them moving. They're interlocked together, they're very, very special, and they weigh 2 tons each.
Yeah,
Clint Banet just moved 4 ton of concrete blocks.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't want to get into the math and physics of it, but let's just say he had a lot of inertia going into that, as now we get a couple of the stunt riders have been, I mean, as we've been up here getting all of our notes ready, they've been out on track during some of our off hours, putting on some crazy shows and keeping the fans entertained while we get the last of this block in place. You spend much time on a bike, Ian?
No.
No?
No. I could barely drive a car. You've been a passenger in a rental car?
I have. I think barely.
Normally
is a
you
good
close
way
your
of
eyes.
I do. I try to fall asleep in the back, and that does not happen. So.
Yeah, no, never delved into the bike world, to be quite honest with you, Jacob. Never really been a thing that's kind of got me interested. I do appreciate someone that can do stunts like these guys on these incredible motorbikes, obviously fully re-engineered and redesigned, and additional equipment to make them do the tricks they do. Bunny hopping
that's
on a superbike, that's a good one.
It's a new one for me. Oh, man, I mean, craziness. We started off top 32 with a lot of insanity, a bunch of one more times as well. Now we get an instant top 16. We've still got third place that we're fighting for as well, which I think, you know, we don't want to take anything away from the championship or the event win, but third place is, it's a tough battle right now for sure. And Jack Shanahan holding on to it currently, but a couple of drivers still able to get into the mix. Can't ever count out James Deane, that's for sure. And Jack gonna have to battle back for it. I believe Laurie might have a shot at it. If
No,
not,
I think Laurie Heinonen...
Corpulinski is definitely...
Laurie
in the
Heinonen
right
now, unfortunately, out of the fight for the championship with James Deane and Pavel Corpulinski moving forward. But I tell you what the story will be. The story will be, can Jack Shanahan hold on to third in the championship?
Yeah.
Can Connor take the top step? Can Jack take the third? We know we may see Peter still in second place for the championship. I don't think that can change. But it's all about holding on to third for Jack Shanahan right now.
Yeah, and that's going to be a tough go. He's got a pretty tough section of that bracket, and it looks like, depending on how things go, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, Jack and James could go at it in the grade 8 as well. So it's, you know, the plot is thickening for sure as we get through the rest of these. And yeah.
Well, Becky's still down there, wandering around, seeing who you can find, and she's got the Frenchman. I put my money on the beginning of the season. She's with Jason Banet. Becky.
Jason, it's great to catch up with you, just having a little bit of time whilst we clear the track up. Let's talk to you about your season. You've really shown us how worthy you are of a place here at Drift Masters. How has it been for you?
I'm very happy. It's my first time here. It's my first year in Drift Master. I'm very happy. It's a dream. It's very, very good place. I'm very happy.
And you find yourself up against Adam LZ. This is going to be a big battle for you.
Yeah. Great battle. Every battle, it's great battle. It's good pilot, Adam, but go hard.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Jason. We'll see you very soon.
Well, there you go, Jason Banet. He's very happy. If you hadn't worked it out, he's super happy. Who isn't happy? Listen, how can you not be happy at Drift Masters? Jason Banet, I said at the beginning of the year, I'd watched him in the French Drift Championships. I'd seen him kind of making his name, earning his way through the ranks, and then I see him, you know, kind of build and unveil this new Subaru BRZ, and I watched him drive and I thought, this guy's got it.
Yeah, it's really come together for him this season. We saw it especially today, and you know, potentially ending the season with these amazing results, you carry so much momentum into next year.
I wondered, you know, he's talking about, you know, accolades and everything else. Is he in contention for Rookie of the Year?
That's a very, very good point. As I hear all the calculators in the background fire up.
Now start to fire up. They're like, oh, we forgot about Rookie of the Year.
The statisticians have woken up from their nap. They thought they got the rest of this weekend off, and now we're asking the hard questions. So,
well, I mean, there's a few guys in it that could be Rookie of the Year. I'm going to say that Espen Road potentially could be in the fighting for Rookie of the Year, along with Jason Banet.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah, Jarkko Euler as well. He could be another one that could be in the contention. Jarkko's been putting on a really good run this year as well. So it'll all come down. We'll find out who that'll be, and that'll all be announced on our social media channels after the event. Here we go. They're getting pulled to the line. It will be the next battle of our top 16. Dwayne McKeever to take on Naoki Nakamura. This is going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, this is a very stylistic matchup. Naoki very much on it this weekend. All the changes to the car have really come together, but Dwayne never backing down, and he needs a win this season. He has had such an uphill battle with mechanicals and crazy things going on. He has to finish this season on a big upswing, and this is his opportunity to go against a Japanese driver who is completely on form, so it will not be easy.
No, it won't be easy, but this man won this event last year. He won in 2024. McKeever stood on the top step of the podium. He'd love to do it again under the lights here in Poland. But he now faces off against a Japanese legend, a man that's looking strong, a man that's on form in a GR86. Brand new build, a brand new car for Drift Masters for 2025. And they get the thumbs up all around from our start line Marshall Marson, who has now donned the shirt for the final battles of the evening. They get the cars into gear and they're off the line. Nakamura to chase down McKeever. Through the gears they go as McKeever fires into outside zone 1. Little dab of the handbrake now sets himself up perfectly. Both guys touch the wall though, and McKeever starts to shred the back bumper off the back of that 180SX as they flick through once again. McKeever into outside zone 4, sets himself up nicely, but look at this, no shaking. The Japanese driver Nakamura shows off the angle, trying to put the front wheel on the door. Oh, so much grip, he pops a wheel off the tarmac. We've not seen that all evening as Nakamura now hunts down McKeever. Both of them touch the wall. They go for the final outside zone. They're into the wall again. Wow.
Here we go, stepping up the game once again from both drivers. McKeever, though, he hit the wall, I think, 4 or 5 times on that run, stayed in it, wasn't affected at any point in time. You might see a little bit of bounce back of angle. McKeever just doubles down, taps that left foot brake, gets the car back to angle in these transitions, and there is Nakamura. This is the type of driving he wants. This is the type of driver he loves to go against. Somebody who's just going to give it its absolute all, and that's what you get with McKeever. I mean, man, the amount of grip and traction that they're still making. Wow, the flames go off in the background. This is so iconic. Look at this shot. He's locked in, staring at it. He goes hand over, hucks the steering wheel around. McKeever going wide through that section, sets it up really, really wide, catches the wall again, going into outside zone 7. Look at him, and have one more wall tap to finish it. I counted at least 4.
There were some big wall taps from McKeever. And look, hey, for us, it's motorsport entertainment. Look at these two guys. These cars are cranked up right now for top 16. Look at the lean. That's wearing away that carbon Kevlar over fender. They have gotten softened up and gripped up to the max. The side skirt is rubbing on the tarmac.
And when you've got a car that's like that, when it starts to lean over, it's not like it makes it easier either, because now you have to fully commit to that. You come off the throttle a little bit, that car springs back quickly, and it throws everything out of whack. So Dwayne, that is a full commitment setup he's got in that car. That's a win it or bin it, checkers or wreckers, and he is in that mode right now, which is going to be really scary now that he's in the chase.
It certainly is. Well, McKeever, for me, look, those wall taps, that's motorsport entertainment for us. But I'm telling you, for the judges, that's a mistake. We'll see how this one goes as they swap them around and they go for it again. Look at this McKeever, super aggressive as he goes down the door of Naoki Nakamura. They fire into outside zone 1. Nakamura into the wall. Look at this McKeever tagging the door already, pushing Naoki Nakamura around the circuit. They transition back. McKeever goes for it. He's on the hunt right now for a kill as he goes for the front wheel of Nakamura's GR86. They both fire through. They look for outside zone 5, collected as they transition together, perfectly timed. But look at McKeever, he's onto the front wheel, he's glued to the side of that GR86. They go wheel to wheel across the line. Wow!
Let's go! This is what we signed up for, Ian. This kind of driving is what everybody in this stadium and everybody watching from home has signed up for. That is epic. That is absolutely epic all the way around. Nakamura just wants to get out and give him a hug. Right off the bat, I was honestly a little bit worried about Dwayne, because I'm like, is he going to be able to hold himself back? I wasn't sure if he was able to, and he barely did through the entire run. He is all over Nakamura. He is trying to intimidate him from the chase and create some sort of mistake, but Nakamura is not shaken at any point in time. Man, look at this coming through. Dwayne is trying to push past, and we get the picture-in-picture. Dwayne getting the fans excited. Nakamura locked in all the way through, grabs that e-brake. Oh my gosh, look at Dwayne popping in the picture through the side window.
They are moments away from having a huge accident.
Yeah,
because they are wheel to wheel the whole way.
And you touch front wheel to front wheel, it's an accident.
You've seen it tonight already.
Well,
here we go. Slide him left for McKeever, right for Nakamura. Who's going to be? It's going to be one vote for Nakamura. It's Nakamura getting the win and advancing through. And Dwayne McKeever says, "Well, fair enough." A little dejected, but look what it means to the Japanese legend as he puts his arms in the air. He is absolutely pumped.
He is on fire, and I get it. I get it from both drivers, because Dwayne McKeever put in some of the best runs of his entire life on that one. And just Nakamura, I think that lead run for him was so incredible. That might have been the difference maker. Dwayne's lead was great, but catching the wall 4 or 5 times definitely can dock you some points.
100%. I think that's all it came down to, and we spotted it. And like I say, for us and for you guys and for everybody here at the PGE Narodowy, it is motorsport entertainment, but it is a mistake, and unfortunately you can't be tagging the wall that much. And I think McKeever, that was a hard pill to swallow.
Yeah, that's one of those runs that you will talk about forever as being one of the most exciting, but that doesn't necessarily make it the most technically proficient run.
100%. Here we go, back on the line we go to France's very own finest drifter. It is Jason Banet to lead out Adam LZ. Jason Banet, the higher qualifier, sits in that lead position. Look at the angle that LZ has put into that BMW. He is ready for this. He's hunting him down already.
Yeah, and he's got the wheels slightly to the right as well, so I think he's wanting to get right into the pocket right away. His chase on this initiation might be a little bit crazy. So we know how fast that BMW is. One of the fastest, if not the fastest vehicle we've got on grid right now. But Jason Banet is absolutely on form, and he's got more of a stylistic flair than we've ever seen.
Yeah, he certainly has. Well, they're off the line and ready to go. LZ on the podium here in 2024. He'd love to do it again as they fire in. Nice initiation from both guys. LZ goes wider than Jason Banet, but look at this. Jason Banet opens up the throttle and he's got some grip dialed into that Subaru BRZ as they fire into outside zone 4. Adam LZ goes for the front wheel, but look at the pace in that Subaru BRZ, but he's shallow on outside zone 4. Banet trying to escape the grip of Adam LZ right now as the American goes for it. Shallows off the angle, puts the wheel towards the door. They fire through outside zone 7 and across the line.
Just another epic battle right off the go here. Adam, he was very aggressive, and it looked like he was reacting a lot to the corrections from Banet in the lead. So I was expecting Adam to be maybe a bit more aggressive on the run-up, but I think he kind of spotted what Banet was up to. He wasn't all the way out to that zone right off the bat, but then gets it sunk in. And then for Adam, you can tell he wants to get in a little bit closer, but a bit hesitant as Banet having a couple of little corrections here or there. So Adam knowing when to strike, when to close that proximity, making sure that Banet is settled within the zone first before he starts to close it in. But a great transition through 5, and both these drivers once again looking on form and showing why they deserve to be in top 16. Adam, though, very aggressive there, cutting out that angle to try and go for a bit more dive. I don't know if he needed to gain that proximity. Looked like he was already there, though.
Yeah, certainly so. Well, look at these beautiful slow-mo shots from our Phantom camera down on track, and these cars look so good under the lights. It's full dark here at the PGE Narodowy, and the lights are now shining, and it's a show tonight.
Yeah, the haze from the smoke just makes everything look that much cooler. It's kind of a throwback to the olden days of like 70s sports in here. It truly is epic no matter where you look.
So there we go, swapped them around. LZ now to lead out Jason Banet, and Banet opens the door. Oh, and he needs to cool the car down ever so slightly, just quickly. And these cars, as we said, getting a little warm inside the arena. It's not cold here in Poland this evening. We were told that there might be rain, and that hasn't happened. And now the temperature is still quite warm. And look at this, Jason Banet saying, I just need a little bit of cool air on the front of the car.
I was trying to read what the dash said there. I thought it might have said all is safe, but I wasn't quite sure.
Well, here we go, car slam into gear. Looks like they're ready to go. They get the green light. The LZ to lead out Jason Banet. A spot in the top 8 awaits for one of these drivers. Here we go. Oh! Contact before initiation.
Okay. Man.
Wow.
So what all happened there? Now, 2 possible scenarios. Either Banet got too aggressive, or Adam slowed down or potentially even shut down, and that's what created it. So we're gonna have to see here as the judges already checking those replays. Yeah, I feel like it's Banet getting a bit aggressive.
Well, we're gonna see it right now on the replay. Here we go, come off the line.
Oh! So Adam's able to keep the grip in the car to make the apex of that corner. Banet starts to come in to follow suit, but it looks like Adam's car is able to maintain the grip, didn't float it back out. Maybe Jason was hoping he would start to flick the car out wide. Either way, it doesn't matter, because the chase driver, Adam looks over the camera like, what was that? Yeah, so the other thing that the judges are going to be looking at now, pulling up our telemetry system through Race Data Labs and looking to make sure that Adam is accelerating all the way through and keeping that pace. But that's a bit of a strange situation, not one we get a lot of. Banet trying to be aggressive, taking a look at maybe the damage on the back of the BMW.
Yeah, I mean, look, at the shaking hands, no hard feelings, and I think Jason Banet thinks that this could be his issue. I think he thought that, he's already thrown his hands up, and I mean, look, from first glance where I'm sitting, Jacob, it does look like Banet goes just super aggressive.
Yeah, so thankfully the judges have given me the ability to look through the data pack as well, so I'll be able to try and report back in on as the judges now starting to converse a little bit more about what the final decision is going to be.
Yes, there we go, both guys out of the car, no hard feelings. They know that this is motorsport and things happen. These guys pull back to receive a decision. This one's going to come down to the judges to see how they deem it, who's going to get the win and advance through to the top 8. Could it be the good weekend that that Adam LZ was hoping for? I'm just looking at Jason Banet.
I think he thought he was going to float
The car caught
out.
a little bit of understeer.
Yeah.
I think he went on throttle, the car gripped up, and I think it kind of understeered ever so slightly, and that's why there was contact. Because if the car wouldn't have gripped and he would have been able to drive, I think he would have just missed the back end of that E36 BMW.
Yeah, that might be the case, and we know how grippy that BMW is. I mean, those cars are incredible in road racing as well, and Adam's team would have put everything into it to make sure that it was
Well,
able
here we go,
to
decisions
jump.
in, left for Banet, right for Adam LZ, it's 1 vote for LZ. And it's Adam LZ getting the win, and he says to Jason Banet, I'm sorry, man. David Kalash, just quickly, it came down to a judging decision there.
Yeah, we just needed to check the starting procedure. We were checking if Adam LZ did slow down or did not slow down. Based on our data, he did not slow down at all. It was like borderline. He was quite on the left side. That's why it took us so long. But at the end, we find out that there was like no major issue with Adam LZ's run. So the mistake is on Jason.
Thank you very much, David. And yeah, I mean, look, these guys have been put through the ringer this year. The judges have used every page of the rule book. Judges this weekend, and there have been all season, David Kalas, Werner Svanefeld, Matthias Jedges, and our fourth EVS judge, Chris Witowski. Back on the line we go, though. No time for hanging around, Jacob. This is Driftmasters. It's going to be Pavel Corpulinski, a man that is fighting for third in the championship. But he goes up against the Rookie of the Year 2024.
Yeah, this is crazy. I mean, another Polish driver here trying to fight for this champ. I mean, well, the win here. It feels like it's an own championship by the end of the event, but he's going for it.
Look, Connor Falvey said at the beginning of the season the only thing he missed in 2024 was a podium. He would love nothing more than to podium here, but Corpulinski needs to win to keep that third place in the championship alive. Here we go, they fire in. It's a nice initiation from Corpulinski. We don't expect anything else from the surgeon, but that opens the door for Falvey. Looks like they've wound him up in the pits. The aggression from the young Irishman is now starting to shine through as he goes for it. He needs to claim back some of that lost proximity, and he does. He shallows up the angle, gets onto the front wheel, but then he loses ground as Corpulinski fires through the centre of the circuit. That carbon Kevlar S15 is back in the mix once again. He's onto the door as Corpulinski dials on the angle for the final outside zone across the line.
I'm so happy that Falvey added that aggression back in. It took a few sections of the track before he really got into it, and for Corpulinski, this is just what we expect from him. He is going out there and laying down a clinic for, again, just every single run, he is almost perfect. So calm and collected through it. Look at how smooth these transitions are. It looks like he's ready to take a nap. That's how locked, like, he can run this track basically in his sleep. For Connor Falvey, now he starts to dial in that aggression, but it gets to be a little bit too much. He can be aggressive. He does do it, but it's keeping that aggression and keeping it in proximity the entire way around the run that he's still got to dial in and work on. He's going to have an absolutely epic lead run. He's got to do something that's a bit crazy to shake off Corpulinski. Pavel's got one of the best lead runs, period, we have in drifting. Now, really for Connor, he's got to be able to match that or pull off something a little bit crazy to try and shake off Corpulinski to try and get the win here. So it looks really good from Falvey, but I would not say he's got the advantage at this point.
Well, no, we need to find out after the second run. Look at this Corpulinski. Look at the... I love it. It's so interesting how these drivers in the chase position are pulling up. Look at this from Corpulinski. He actually takes a step back, sits onto that side, now starts to creep off the line. It's going to be Falvey to lead out Corpulinski. Falvey's up and gone. No messing around. He wants to get this one done and in the bag. The final Polishman left in competition. Corpulinski, can he keep the dream alive? As Falvey fires in, now Corpulinski starts to rein in the young Irishman. They fire through that inner zone. It's beautiful from Connor Falvey as he puts it into outside zone 4. But look at Corpulinski. The aggression as he dives onto the door, straight onto the front wheel. No messing around from the Polishman. They come through the centre of the circuit. Corpulinski almost overtakes Falvey as he gets a transition done into outside zone 6 and then full throttle, no messing around as Corpulinski once again makes a dive onto the door.
Wow, that is putting an exclamation mark on that run from Corpulinski, and really Falvey has a super solid lead all the way through this. It's clean, it's smooth, it's still precise, and Corpulinski kind of takes advantage of that and just gets into the side of the Irishman all the way around. Look at the precision from both these drivers. Great job through the transition. Corpulinski actually falls back just a touch, but is able to find the grip and get back into it. And look at the way he noses the front of the car in and then is able to get the tail of it to come back around to make sure that he's mirroring as much as possible possible. And again, locked in all the way through this run. You can see the carbon Kevlar of Falvey's car there as Corpulinski starts to pull the rope and bring him a little bit closer coming through the final zone.
Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And look at these shots. I'm never going to get bored of these.
No,
ever.
no. Between the smoke, the fire, the cars, the people, it's as perfect of an event as you can ask for. Man, what a crazy, crazy weekend already, Ian. And we're not even halfway through our top 16 yet.
No, well, we need a decision for this battle first. Corpulinski looks a little stressed, so does Conor Falvey. Both of them want this more than ever. Corpulinski said he needs it. We wait for the decision to drop in. And there's a shake of the head there from both guys. Side of left for Corpulinski, right for Falvey. It's one vote for Corpulinski. It's a one more time vote for Vernon. It's Corpulinski gets the win. Paweł Corpulinski keeps it alive for Poland, and he keeps that third place in the championship alive for now. And unfortunately, we lose the young Irishman. But what a battle, what a year for Conor Falvey.
It has been such a come up for him all the way since the beginning. He's had to battle through a lot. He has grown up a ton. He's felt like he's been judged unfairly. He's battled back through it. He's become a better lead driver and a more aggressive chase driver, and this is just the start of his career, and I'm so excited to see what he does. But Corpulinski moves on, and this stadium could not be any louder.
It couldn't be, and the pyro erupts and the smoke cannons go off and everyone in the building cheers, and the Polish flags once again are lifted in hope that they will get a pole on the podium this evening here in Poland. We move to the other side of our top 16 bracket, and we're going to see Espen Road to take on Mika Keski-Korpi.
Yeah, this is a fun one. This is definitely a fun one. Mika Keski-Korpi is obviously on form, and for Espen, he's gotten through that top 32, maybe not the way he wanted to win, but having that little bit of momentum and having that energy to be like, you know what, I'm here in the top 16, I've got everything I need, I'm just gonna go at it. And I think for him, Mika Keski-Korpi is a great pairing, similar style, similar aggression. So this is a battle that for Espen Road, it couldn't be better for him to meet this driver in the top 16.
No, it couldn't be, and the final Norwegian driver in our competition this evening is Espen Road, and look at this, the visor goes down for Mika Keski-Korpi, and we forget that Espen Road yet to have a battle on the circuit. Mika Keski-Korpi off the line and fires in that F22 BMW into that outside zone. Look at Keski-Korpi, he's absolutely dialed in the zone, but Espen Road's not letting him get away. These two go for it, absolute titans as they fire into outside zone 4. A little lost ground for Espen Road as he now shallows up the angle, looks for the front wheel of that BMW F22. They fire through the centre of the circuit. Espen Road still with him as Mika Keski-Korpi makes a massive mistake, finds himself off of that outside zone, but Espen Road makes a bigger one.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough one, and that last zone is going to be pretty divisive between a lot of people, and to see what all went down as we see those Norwegian flags flying high, and everybody's stoked to see this battle coming to fruition. Mika Keski-Korpi looks great through that first outside zone, inside clip dialed. Espen Road trying to get a bit more comfortable behind the driver in front of him, but not able to until a little bit later on in the run because Mika Keski-Korpi completely locked in. Look at the vibration in the steering wheel.
Look at that.
That is interesting.
With that all season.
Yeah, and I talked to him a little bit about it. So when this car is at full angle, the steering wheel's vibrating. I know he's had a lot of people looking at it, but he fights through it. And yeah, this last zone is interesting. Was that an error from Keski-Korpi that threw Espen off, or did Espen just get caught a little bit too inside and has to make a lot of corrections to get back in tow? That was pretty crazy, and judges let me know there's a lot of left foot braking there from Mika.
Yeah, outside zone 6, and that could be a chink in the armour for the young Finnish driver. They go back on the line. Espen Road will lead them out. The Norwegian driver yet to really prove himself in Drift Masters, and another guy that could be fighting for Rookie of the Year 2025. They come off the line and through the gears. They slam into it as Espen Road puts that E46 BMW into that first outside zone. Mika Keski now starts to rain on him, starts to look for that rear wheel. They go for the transition back, and it's very well timed from both guys. Look at Keski-Korpi, absolute beautiful, as he puts that car on shallow angle, trying to keep up with the young Norwegian. Now starts to dial in, starts to mirror the angle. They transition back across the circuit once again as Espen Road puts the back bumper along the wall. Mika Keski-Korpi holds it together, looks for the wheel, looks for the door, and dials on the angle.
Wow, Espen Road came out swinging on that one. I wonder if he thought he was at fault, or maybe felt like he was a little bit behind, as we see both those flags going head to head. I mean, the fans finding their zones with their fellow countrymen, and that's also what makes this event so great, the different sections. But look at this. Espen Road very, very dialed through a lot of it. Maybe could have been a touch deeper through a few sections, but I know in our last two zones, Espen Road basically grinding off the back bumper of that BMW. But Mika Keski-Korpi is not letting him free at any point. He's dialed in, locked in, as we can see them hugging it out, knowing that they've had one of the best battles they've ever had. I mean, especially this year in front of all these fans. And look at Mika, still that vibration in the wheel. That has got to be so frustrating for a driver. Mika trying to battle back in, almost wanting to supersede and having to throw the angle at it so he doesn't slam into the side of the Norwegian. That is a hard-fought battle, as both these drivers looking up at the big screen to check out the replays.
That is such a beautiful shot. Coming into there, that move from Keski-Korpi was beautiful. From 3 to 4 was just so well timed. He put the car right where it needed to be, and Espen Road dealt with it.
Yeah,
gave him the perfect lead.
Yeah, it's such a give and a take when it comes to this. And I mean, drifting is one of the only sports you got to work with your opponent to beat them. And man, so much trust between these two drivers. That was a great set of runs. They both have to be very proud.
Here we go, slide him left for Keski-Korpi, or right for Espen Road. It's a one more time from Kalas. It's all Espen Road from Vernon. It's going to be Espen Road, and yet again, another split decision and shock on the face of Mika Keski-Korpi. The judges, a little bit of deliberation there, and couldn't really get it dialed, but Espen Road getting the win, advancing through to the top 8.
I did like to see, I mean, Mika looked shocked and then immediately proud of Espen. Like that look of like, you know, like, oh my God, like what?
They're still looking at each other, throwing their hands up. They're like, I don't know. They're like, we're not judging it. But
yeah, I'm sure it can be tough sometimes from inside the car to really understand what happened, but we've got some of the best eyes in the business up here. Look at Mika. He's like, he's confused.
Espen's like, I did it.
But look at this. Immediately goes back in for the hug. Like, I'm so stoked for you.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
I wish it could have been me.
That's what these guys love to do. Here we go, a big battle on the line right now. It is the 2024 champion, Lauri Heinonen, sits on the line alongside the 2023 and the 2025 Drift Masters champion. Shanahan said the job is done, and now it's just for fun out there. But Heinonen would love a podium this weekend.
And that is the scariest version of Connor Shanahan. When he's out there just to have fun, like when he's battling his brother, stuff like that, the driving is monumental. So this is going to be crazy. Lauri, he needs this. Connor, he's just having a good time.
It certainly is. These guys are going to party right now on circuit as they come off the line. Heinonen to lead them out. Look at this, Shanahan and Heinonen go for it. They fire into outside zone 1. Shanahan shallows up the angle, now dives onto the front wheel, avoids contact with Lauri Heinonen. They flick it through inside zone 3, but look at Shanahan. He's absolutely glued to the side of that NASCAR V8 powered 180SX. They get it all the way through 4 and they look for 5, and it's still there. Oh, wow, what a transition from Connor Shanahan as he now fires back onto the door once again, up onto the inside, more angle thrown at it from both guys.
This was it. This was fun. These are two drivers just going out there and banging doors. This is old school drifting, just having an absolute blast. Lauri Heinonen out front, you can tell he just wanted to try and speed past Connor Shanahan through so much of this run, but has to keep that shortened back end as close to the wall as possible. And the transitions from Connor Shanahan, the way he's able to punch through the smoke, is something that I will never be able to wrap my brain around, because it is unhuman what he is able to do. Look at this. Both of them coming out that wall. I think I saw a little bit of a tap there, and then this is the transition we're waiting for. Look at that. Connor Shanahan, and you have to have so much trust in that lead driver, and the amount of things he's got to do in the car to be able to pull that off, it is otherworldly.
It certainly is otherworldly, and these guys are driving beyond their means right now. They're beyond their own brain.
No, this is pure instinctual at this point in time. No one's thinking about it. You just go out and run your race.
Shanahan rubbing the front bumper of the GT86 on the front wheel of Lauri Heinenen's car.
Yeah, you cannot get closer at that point.
That is just as close as you get, without causing a huge accident.
No, man, wild, and now we stagger them back at Lauri, taking it a little bit wider off to the side. Very interesting.
Yeah, so it starts to creep off the line as soon as they get that green light ready to go, and it will be Shanahan to lead them now. Lauri Heinonen to give chase as they fire in. Lauri Heinonen now, look at this rat, reels in Shanahan straight away, onto the door he goes, as Shanahan wants to lay down a perfect lead line, keeps the front end of that GT86 clean, but Heinonen almost back backwards entry into outside zone 4, and look at Laurie Heinonen, he's coming for it now. He means business as he puts that car where it needs to be. The sound of that car in this arena is nothing short of unbelievable. They fire in, they touch body panels, they bang wheels as they get into the wall. Shanahan onto the wall and across the line.
Yeah, I got no idea. No idea. All I know at this point is I want it one more time. I just want to see them go at it as many times as we are allowed to. I mean, maybe we'll see the sunrise by the time they actually figure out which way this is going to go. Both drivers on perfect form all the way through, still being aggressive, taking some risks here and there. And this shot here, oh man, Laurie coming in, pulling a bit of a backy just to sink back up. That is absurd to be able to do that and land it. I mean, you're basically blind coming through there because you've superseded the other driver. And Laurie doing what Connor does best through these transitions. Wait for it. There he is. Oh my God, he gets the tap. See, I know you're not supposed to do that, but I don't care because it's so
rear
cool.
wheel to rear wheel.
That is wild. That is wild. That is how you make a correction look incredible, right? You're not just doing a big left foot brake. You're not grabbing the handbrake and dragging it. But yeah, look at these drivers. Slow motion makes it seem easier than it really is. Because you gotta remember, they're doing 60 kilometers an hour around that corner. Wild runs from both these drivers.
Well, there we go, both out of the car, both smiling, both having a good time this weekend, that's for sure. Looks like Laurie Heinenen's car losing, oh, look at this, a damaged radiator in the back of Laurie Heinenen's car. He's losing a lot of water, so we might have to get Laurie Heinonen off the circuit.
Yeah, sweating some horsepower, as they say.
Yeah, sweating power. So yeah, Laurie Heinonen looks a little concerned, especially if he manages to get the win here against Connor Shanahan. It does look like our crew are going to get down there and get that cleaned up straight away. Try and get the track prepped ready for our next top 16 battle.
Yeah, both of them, I mean, they'll start discussing and trying to figure out, like, okay, what do you think of this? What do you think of that? And then we get the international hand sides for drifting.
Yeah.
One of my favorite parts, how they're able to communicate. Just, doesn't matter what language. As soon as you get the hands out like that, you know what the
everyone
other person's
knows.
saying.
Well, the judge is still deliberating this one, still looking back at the initiation from Connor Shanahan and going back over the runs. So this one maybe not as clear-cut as we thought. We await the decision to drop in from our judges.
Yeah, this is tough. I mean, there is these little errors with the contact. They're not supposed to be doing that, as crazy as it looks, and a nice little jig there from the Irishman. Laurie's got the nervous smile.
Well, here we go, side and left for Heinonen and right for Shanahan. It's one vote for Heinonen. It's a one vote for a one more time. Oh, it's going to be a one more time. And Laurie Heinonen smiles and Connor Shanahan says, I've got to do it again. He's not going to get a break this evening. It's going to be one more times all evening for Connor Shanahan until he can get it done. Now the panic is on for Laurie Heinenen's crew. They have to get that car back to the paddock and repaired and ready to rock and roll. And hopefully it's not as bad as it seems.
Yeah, we can see just how far back that trail goes. And we got a few people, some track workers out there right now going back through the entire racing line just to make sure Laurie able to drive off. Just a quick drive. I mean, a couple of spits and sputters here and there, but they'll probably shut him down. I believe that was water coming out of the car. I mean, it should be just straight water in it. I don't believe they're running any coolant per se, but looked a little rusty, so might have to look into that too.
I'm unsure of what that could be, maybe a damaged radiator. A lot of these guys running the radiator in the rear of the car, or an electric water pump, which is also in the rear of the car. Who knows? But I'm sure the guys down there, the Finnish team, will all jam together and get that car repaired and back out for the one more time battle. Be at the end of the bracket.
Now, the uncomfortable question with something like this, anytime you get a water leak, is, I mean, where does it come from? But what else happened to the engine during that? Did the temps come up? Those NASCAR engines are incredibly precise, and overheating them just a little bit can be very detrimental to it. So that would be my only other concern for Laurie at this point in time, is just making sure and hoping that that engine's got at least enough left for a couple more battles. So we saw last year, I mean, his engine popped on the last run in the final few meters, and hopefully this one is able to hang on a little bit longer than that.
Well, yeah, it does need to complete another 2 runs and a tyre warming of the circuit before.
Look at how quick this crew out there getting everything tidied up. Well, we've got a few more drivers waiting in the wings to get things rolling.
Yeah, we certainly have. Our next battle of our top 16 will be James Deane's take on the Portuguese driver Diogo Correia. And James Deane and Diogo being sent to warm up the tyres on the back of these cars.
Another fun battle coming up here. James Deane, you know, I think we've said everything there is to be said about how great of a driver he is. And Correia coming up, having, I mean, just a season that's had its ups and downs for sure, but everything feels like it's coming together for him here in Poland. It seems really, really well thought out, the team and his driving, and he seems a lot more precise and everything just working correctly.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's been a very up and down season for him. I think 2 engines, 2 turbos, some axles, a differential, you name it. Diogo Correia this season has broken it. The prop shaft in Riga, which caused the accident with Conor Falvey. Diogo Correia has had one of those years where a lot of drivers would try and, you know, forget the season, reset and go again. But Correia had that mindset of there's still Poland, there's still an opportunity.
Yeah, and he's one of the drivers where when the vehicle is working perfectly, he's very difficult to beat, but the vehicle working perfectly is not something that has happened very often this season.
No, and he goes up against a very steely competitor. He goes up against the one and only James Deane, the machine, in this incredible Ford Mustang RTR Spec 5 DM. Engineered in America, built in Ireland,
yeah,
driven in Europe.
Amazing, amazing. Loved by all.
Loved by everyone, yeah. There we go, the nervousness of Deane shines through once again as he slams that Ford Mustang into gear, gets the revs built up, ready to go as he comes off the line to lead out Diogo Correia for a spot in the top 8 awakes. They fire through left to right into initiation. Look at Correia, he's not letting the machine get away, and he knows that James Deane will drive 110% on a perfect lead line. And what can Correia do? Can he follow him? Can he stick with the Mustang? And he certainly can at the moment. Now has to shallow up the angle, jumps in, back up onto the door he goes. As Diogo Correia loses a little ground once again through the centre of the circuit, but makes the transition work. Jumps in to outside zone 6. James Deane looks flawless so far on that outside line. Oh, contact wheel to wheel, almost a big wreck.
Thankfully they're able to pull out of that, because that could have been pretty nasty. James Deane with a shake of the head. Probably see him yeah, there it is, test that steering wheel to make sure everything is straight, takes his hands off, make sure it's driving true, and hopefully that's a good indication that the alignment is good. Everything looked really good here for both drivers. James Deane doing exactly what you would expect from him. Correia getting pretty aggressive, and when you're going against James, you can be that aggressive because you know he's going to lay down an absolutely solid run. You can kind of make these dives and be assured that the vehicle is exactly where you expect it to be. But at the very end of it, Correia just gets a bit too aggressive, trying to end the run with the biggest exclamation point that he can, which is being on the door of the Irishman. And unfortunately, that means he gets a little bit too aggressive and makes that front wheel on front wheel contact. So we'll see here, there it is. James Deane just able to get it out. So what?
That was wheel to wheel again.
So it looks like James adding a bit more angle through that last section, and Diogo just not able to kind of hang with it. And it sounds like Correia is gonna get the blame for the contact.
Yeah, Diogo Correia at fault for the contact, and now our start line Marshall Martin offering James Deane the opportunity to test in the steering. So James Deane, by the sounds of things from the onboard, he's going to drive the car in a circle just to see what it feels like, see if it's okay.
Yeah, he's so, well, I mean, all of these drivers are so in tune with these vehicles. They're going to know almost immediately if there's something wrong with it. If it's not tracking correctly or if it doesn't turn correctly, they'll be able to tell pretty quick. And James, because he was not at fault, will be given an opportunity to put hands on the car need be. So it's looking like it's okay. I'm not seeing him shaking his head or jump on the radio, which are usually indications, hey guys, we got to get things ready.
Yeah.
I think maybe there's a tie rod that's bent, but he's pulling back up to the line.
Yeah, and Martin, our start line marshal, said to him, look, before you take a competition timeout, do you just want to test the car quickly?
Yeah.
You know, like, he is deemed at fault, and you go drive it, you tell us what you think, it's your race car.
Yeah, and James would know. He would absolutely know. Now, there's always the worry that there's a small bit of damage you can't feel that awakens a little bit later in the run, but James taking a bit of that risk, get back out there and throw it. I mean, checking that steering wheel one last time before Martin gives him the go-ahead and we get this battle back underway.
There we go, he pulls up into the chase position. Diogo Correia shown to look at the light, ready to go green to lead them out. Correia from Portugal to lead out James Deane from Ireland. He slams it through the gears. They fire into initiation. Deane almost backwards in that car, then shallows up the angle to keep that front wheel towards the door of Diogo Correia's BMW E92. They flick through that inside zone and back out for 4. Correia looks like he's on an absolute flyer, but does he have to do too much here? He must. He needs to keep himself into the pocket and into the zone. Deane doesn't have to go too hard, but you try telling James Deane to back down 10% as he goes wheel to wheel with him in outside zone 6. The final outside zone coming as Correia fires more angle at it. Deane sticks with him across the line.
It is amazing. James did not need to drive that aggressive, knowing the other driver in Correia has that deficit because of the contact. But he still goes for it, gives it 110% all the way around this run. And Correia, he had to lay down an absolutely perfect lead run and hope that something in the chase happens to James Deane. There's some sort of flub or mechanical or something that would end up taking him out, or at least maybe even lead to a one more time. But that did not seem like the case upon first viewing of this run. And there's James Deane locked in, so definitive when he grabs the e-brake, when he wants to check that car up. And there's Correia, I mean, making a ton of grip, a ton of smoke, doing a great job all the way through this run, and everybody capturing the memories so they can go back and relive this night as many times as possible. As we see the drivers coming around, the pyro going off, and those two icons of the sport having a discussion about what just happened.
Yeah, and you can see Correia saying, I see you there, but I thought I'd just go for it. And
I saw the car, it's hard to miss, it's gigantic and reflective, but I wanted to make sure.
I wanted to put a mark on it before you went home for the weekend.
Yeah, exactly. When you put that door up on the wall, I want to make sure that my signature was there.
Yeah, Diogo Correia not messing around this weekend, trying to just have some fun and enjoy the last round of Drift Masters 2025. Decisions inside him, left for Deane, right for Correia. It's one vote for James Deane. It's going to be James Deane getting the win, advancing through to the top 8. Unfortunately, we lose the Portuguese driver Diogo Correia. That contact on that final outside zone, just too much, and judges saying, yeah, you can't be beating up the opponent.
No, not like that, not like that. And the Irish fans once again very, very excited.
Yeah, they certainly are. Well, a few Irish drivers still in the competition, still in the fight. James Deane keeping that fight for third place alive.
Man, what a scene, what a view. All these people packed in here. Man, Upper Bowl is absolutely stuffed.
Yep, it's getting busy now as we get closer and closer to the final battles. Here we go, back on the line. Jack Shanahan leads out Oliver Randal. Look at this, Randal once again on the rear quarter already.
Yeah, he's locked in. He's going to go for that tip-to-tail chase initiation, and you've got to be aggressive with Jack Shanahan, because if you hesitate for a moment, he's halfway around the track, and you just get promoted to spectator. So Jack Shanahan locked in, thumbs up. What a great, I need one of those.
You need that?
I need that
you
sticker.
Need the hat?
Yeah, that's a whole hat.
It's a whole hat, yeah.
I'll take the hat.
There we go, off the line. Jack Shanahan to lead out Oliver Randal for a spot in the Great 808s and the third in the championship. Still alive for one of them, and look at that. Shanahan with shallow angle. Randal says, let's go for it, and pushes him to more angle. They fire through into outside zone 4. Randal goes for it once again. He knows he needs to be business with Jack Shanahan. He flexes the front bumper on the wheel of Jack Shanahan. Down the inside again, Randal shuts it down, almost puts the car into the wall, and Shanahan is up and gone.
That was interesting. There's a lot going on in that run, and I think a bunch that we can dive into, and I don't know if this is going to be as easy of a decision as we first thought, because if you go back and rewatch, which we're going to, Jack Shanahan was a little bit funky through some of these zones where he'd get into it and he would throw extra angle at it, and you go a little bit and you throw more angle at it, and it wasn't as fluid as I would come to expect. Now, some of that may be the way that the camera angles are, and I'm not entirely sure, but look at Jack Shanahan in there, not a ton of angle, but Randal, he's all over him. And as we get through some of these zones, it just seems like Jack not able to get the car all the way out the way that he wanted to. Look at the big left foot brake, and then you'll add a bit more angle. There it is. And he does this over and over again in the zones. And Randal is doing everything he can to try and mirror that. And it's always going to have a bit of a delay in that. And then as they come through this, I mean, Oliver Randal is just very aggressive through the transition. And he just catches the side of Jack Shanahan. You can see it right here. Wow.
Oh, I see what happened. It was wheel to wheel. So it was Oliver Randal's front wheel to Jack Shanahan's rear wheel, and I think it knocked the steering wheel out of Randal's hand.
Yeah.
Hence why he didn't complete the run.
Yeah, and I mean, it just pushed him out wide. So a lot of questions to be asked. I don't know if either driver needs to get their hands on the vehicle. Jack doing a bit of a loop either way to try and figure out what's going on. But yeah, we'll see. Is there any damage to the wheels of Jack Shanahan? I mean, I think they're drifting wheels at this point are very, very strong, and they're more or less built to take that type of contact. So that seems to be the case here.
Well, this is going to be an interesting one. I think the judges have got a task on their hand. Shanahan pulls back up to the line. Randal pulls up to lead them out. It looks like they're going to get the green light ready to go as Oliver Randal from Estonia comes off the line. Jack Shanahan to chase him down a spot in the top 8 awaits for one of these guys as they fire through. And look at this huge separation. Oliver Randal is up and gone now. Has Shanahan been told to hold back, or did he make a mistake on initiation? Look at this. Oliver Randal pulling a gap on Jack Shanahan. He's not even in the question. Now starts to rein him in. Starts to find the side of the Estonian BMW. This isn't looking good for either of these guys. Shallow on the outside zone is Oliver Randal, but now Shanahan finds the door of the BMW.
And you don't know if there was damage done to either driver, because that was a pretty good hit to Jack and obviously to Randal through that transition. A lot of things could be broken, but if there are, they're fighting through it. Like immediate, that wheel locks up from Randal, very sudden. And Jack, as you said, I'm not sure if something happened at the start line, wasn't able to find the traction or get the grip and the gear he's looking for, but does get pulled on from Randal, who with the tinted visor down just looks very menacing. I mean, he's got that final ballast energy going on as he's driving the car. Big left foot brake through our last outside zone, and now Jack getting more on form to what we expect with him, which is basically just rearranging most people's doors. So kind of interesting there. That contact is a little bit divisive, but both drivers very, very scrappy all the way through. And there's Randal with that signal of, I caught you on the transition.
Well, there we go. It's slide him left for Shanahan, right for Randal. It's going to be Jack Shanahan. Jack Shanahan gets the win, advances through, and it looks like there's an exchange of words down there.
Good luck. Yeah. All right.
Oh, exchange of words between those two guys for the contact. And I think Jack Shanahan was told to hang back there by the spots.
Yeah, I think so. And I just got through from the truck.
Yes.
What's going on here with third? It looks like this battle is going to be going down to James and Jack. So, which is pretty wild, especially considering they will be taking on each other in the top 8.
In the top 8.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, I'm just trying to look through. Corpulinski, now out of contention with James and Jack. Yeah, just trying to do the maths here and work out the points. Yeah, Pavel Corpulinski out now because Jack and James have made their way through. Here we go back on the line for the one more time battle between Laurie Heinonen and Connor Shanahan. And now start line Marshall Marson down there, just checking to see if that water leak is fixed on the back of Laurie Heinenen's car. Connor Shanahan sits on the line, ready to go. And this is the final battle of our top 16. There we go, no messing around, straight into it. Laurie Heinonen to lead them out as they fire around that first long bit of track into outside zone 1, in and on the wall. Oh, contact once again. These two guys exchanging blows left, right and centre. They fire through that inside zone, back out to outside zone 4 as Shanahan goes for the front wheel. Look at Shanahan driving clever, shallows off the angle, then flicks it to angle, keeps with Heinonen the whole way through, almost takes the back end off the car as they fire into outside zone 6. Heinonen on a flyer, but look at this, it opens the door once again for Connor Shanahan.
It's just what we expected. More contact, more aggression. Larry using every millimeter of the track and trying to find different ways to be able to shake off Connor the Shadow Shanahan. But it's just, it feels impossible some days. He's able to almost telegraph or look into what you're doing. It's like you're telegraphing every movement to him and he's able to read it. But Larry, with these big transitions through, just trying to run away, maybe didn't get as deep or as much angle through that inside clip just to try and shake off Connor, who does a great job through this transition. Again, a little bit more delayed and precise on it, but look at him almost pushing Lowry through, and then Heinonen adding a bit more angle, another tap to the front wheel, tap to the rear wheel, a little how you do as they come across the line. There's not going to be much left of these vehicles by the time this evening is over, Ian.
No, these two cars are going to be absolutely bad, and I think every single car on the grid will be bad as Connor Shanahan and Laurie Heinonen take a moment just to drive around the circuit, cool their cars down. Shanahan super aggressive. The contact on outside zone 1 straight off the bat, no messing around.
Yeah, and I'm expecting the same thing again. Both drivers probably feel like they've made mistakes, and we've seen it time and time again that when either of these drivers feel like they're behind, they come out swinging, they try some crazy stuff.
Oh, and I can see steam coming from the back of Laurie Heinenen's car as I look out of the commentary booth window. He's going to pull up now, and look at this. Steam from the back of Heinenen's car. Is he going to be forced to pull off circuit? He's going to try and pull up to the line, but look at this. The amount of steam that's coming out of Heinenen's car. I think he's going to be told to pull that car off track, and he is. And Heinonen turns the car around and backs it straight off.
Oh no, not what we wanted, not what anybody wanted. And you can see the water coming from the back of that car. And the leak is present once again, and it is absolutely pouring now from the corner of that vehicle.
Yeah, and Heinenen's asking to be pushed off the track. There is no way that that car can make it back out once again. That car getting too hot here in Poland. And with him pulling off the circuit, that can only mean one thing. That means that Conor Shanahan will get the win and advance through to the top 8.
Man, that is rough. That is rough. I know Conor's probably like, can we give him a few minutes? Can we get back out here? Like,
can I help him?
Like, you know, my dad's out there with a sledgehammer. I'm sure he can fix it. Like, nobody wants to win like this. And it's you know, you have that feeling of like, okay, well, I got the win, but it feels half-hearted because you want to beat them heads up.
Well, there we go. We have to make it official, and it will be Conor Shanahan getting the win. And I apologise for our overlay on graphics there. Some confusion. Everyone's getting excited.
Yeah.
It's the final. Here we go. We'll make it official, and it will be Conor Shanahan getting the win. Laurie Heinonen, bows out of competition. And another mechanical for Heinonen.
Well, this season is just a war of attrition. It's not just Heinonen. So many drivers. You got to remember we're 6 into this, and these vehicles are just battered and bruised and have taken a beating for months and months now. You know, so many laps of the aggression from the drivers and the abuse of both feet and hands. So it's tough. It's a miracle that most of them are even here this weekend.
It certainly is, yeah. These cars are traveling circus around Europe, as we say, 7 rounds, 6 of them completed this year, and these guys have been all around Europe. These cars pushed to the limit and back again as our track staff now just tried to dry up that bit of water that was left from Laurie Heinenen's 180SX. And now it looks like our top 8 is set, Jacob.
Wow, and I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but these battles are insane. They are absolutely insane, the way that this is all stacked up, and even more on the line for every driver that's left here.
It certainly is, and here we go. This is how it looks. Alan Hines will take on Naoki Nakamura. Adam LZ will take on Pavel Corpulinski. Espen Road will take on Conor Shanahan. And James Deane will take on Jack Shanahan. That battle there, James Deane, Jack Shanahan, that's the fight for 3rd in the championship.
Yeah, and man, it is, it's crazy. And those two drivers have driven together for years, and some of their best driving just, I mean, it happens with low-powered cars and going out and banging doors, and I expect that battle to feel very similar.
Well, Becky's down in the paddock trying to get all the info behind the scenes. She's with the man, the myth, the legend, the machine, James Deane.
James, taking a small break, having a banana, classic for you.
Yep.
Congratulations on getting through that battle. Can you give us an update on the car? We saw you had a bit of contact. It looked maybe like a bent tie rod. What's been going on?
Yeah, this Mustang RTR knows how to take a smack. And it was quite heavy contact coming towards the end of the last corner. And my steering was off a little bit. And I could feel like a grating feeling. But, you know, when you're in the moment, you're out there in front of all the fans. You don't want to call like a competition timeout. So I think it's okay enough to finish the battle. And we just went for it, and then when we came back in, we double-checked things. The alignment was a little bit out, and the steering shaft was hitting the exhaust manifold. So we're fixing that now quickly before we battle one of my great friends and neighbour, Jack Shanahan, which is going to be absolutely wild. I can't wait.
Well, we're just about to talk about that. The battle for 3rd is very much alive, meeting Jack in the next battle. You know what? It's going to feel like 360 on steroids. You guys are going to be putting on a big show for us.
Yeah, it's going to be wild. I love every time we drive with Jack because you just know it's going to be all out from the two of us. Anything can happen. The conditions on the track right now are really slippery. The more rubber that gets down on the track, especially in the outer zones, it just keeps on getting like patchier and patchier. It feels like there's almost water on the big zones. So it's very challenging in the lead position and in the chase position. But I know we're both going to give it our best and see what happens.
Brilliant, James. Thank you. Ian, Jacob, wow, we didn't know that.
No, we didn't know that, Becky, and inside information, and that's why we love having Becky around. Oh, she gets there, she gets all the good stories, and she gives us all the information that we love to know.
It's amazing. They would much rather talk to her than us. They won't they barely give us anything, but
she's good. She's good looking, so what do you expect? Becky's still down there in the paddock, and she's going to get some more inside information because she's with the man that James will be fighting for that third place of the championship, Jack Shanahan.
Hello, Jack.
Hello.
You got a big battle coming up next with your friend, your neighbour, someone that you've driven with for so many years. What can we expect?
I'm not too sure, to be honest. Hopefully not a crash, but it's definitely going to be a fairly full sin by both of us because technically this decides third place in championship for me and James. So, yeah, it's kind of all on the line now. Like, I think neither of us have anything to lose at this point. We're just going to go drive with each other and have as much fun as that we always do, basically. So we put a lot of work into the off-season practice this year with him driving his practice Mustang and me and my 350, and I'm just going to try like replicate what we've been doing on the track in 360. So that's all I'm going to do is just send it and see what happens.
Excellent, Jack. Send it.
Well, there you go. He's going to send it.
Yeah,
they're going to drive it like they're driving their practice cars. Who knows how that's one's going to work out, but I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for our top 8. Back on the line we go with Alan Hines, who got a gift into the top 8, with Clint Van Oort taking that car to the wall, but he now faces off against a legend in drifting. It is the one and only Naoki Nakamura, sits on the line in that Toyota GR86 2JZ 900 horsepower. A steely competitor, a man that is on form, and a man that is so excited to win every single battle. Look at this, hyped up and excited in the car. He's like a coiled spring of emotions.
He's that excited the moment he steps foot on grid. He's like this all weekend. I don't know how he does it.
No, so nor do I, but here we go. We're going to find out how he's going to do it right now. They come off the line and through the gears. It's going to be Alan Hines to fire in that S15. He gets into that first outside zone and tickles the wall with the back end. And now Naoki Nakamura starts to find the side of that green and white S15. They fire into outside zone 4. Nakamura with him once again as Alan Hines shallows up the angle, and it looks like he struggles there for a little bit of pace and grip, and now starts to unwind and uncoil the spring as they get into outside zone 6. Naoki Nakamura can't be shaken. Hines on a very shallow line. He tries to bowl away, but he can't get away from him.
Yeah, I mean, Hines has been super deep through all the zones, but on this run, maybe not all the way through, taking a bit of risk out. I mean, you're going to see all the contact, all the incidents, per se, that have been going on. So maybe you come back a little bit and go, hey, I'm not going to go as deep through a lot of these zones. And for Nakamura, that gives him the opportunity to just really get in there and start to push around a little bit, Alan Hines. So for me, I mean, Alan's just maybe not as aggressive as he should be. And Nakamura, he's just like, oh, I'm just going to show you, though. Here you go. Like, you need to go a little quicker here. I need you a little bit deeper in this zone, and just kind of pushes them around through a lot of this run. But it's a solid run from both. Both need to clean things up just a touch, but still very, very exciting.
Super close battle. Look at this.
Yeah.
And the contact wheel to wheel once again, and these guys pushing to 110% this evening here in Poland at the PGE Narodowy. There's nothing left. These guys are driving with every ounce of talent.
Well, you've got the entire offseason, and the bow tie is back, baby.
The bow tie is back on. That's because we're getting close to the final battles of the evening as we move through competition. Naoki Nakamura now sits in the lead position. Alan Hines to give chase. Will he try and repay the favour? Will he paint a stripe up the side of that GR86 as he almost pushes Nakamura off the start line? They burst through the gears, flames erupt. They go for it as they fire in. Nakamura starts to put a gap already on Alan Hines as he has to shallow up the angle, fire that car in and flick it to angle. They fire through that inside zone, back into outside zone 4 as Nakamura shallows up the angle, now starts to wind on the angle, the grip in full effect as he fires through the middle of the circuit. Alan Hines looks like he's playing chase with a mouse right now. He can't hang with Nakamura. Shallows up the angle once again as he puts it to the line.
This was great from both drivers, and I think for Alan Hines, I mean, you're going up against an absolute legend, and Alan is very, very well read in the history of drifting and knows so much about the sport and comes from an incredible lineage, so it's no wonder how educated he is with this. So going up against Nakamura, I'm sure this alone feels like greatness, and this is a big step up for him, because Nakamura is able to do some incredible things, and you know, you're catching him on a day where he is so locked in, and Alan Hines does a great job of trying to keep up, and he's making the corrections in all the right spots. But at the end of the day, for me, Nakamura is just on such a level this weekend, and it's just unfortunate for Alan Hines that it's the driver that he's going up against. And Alan, I mean, he's got nothing to be ashamed of in any of these runs. Just the hard part is that Nakamura is cranking through so much of this.
Yeah, Nakamura was on a fly. Look at this, straight out of the car, helmet off. He wants a decision. Slide him left for Hines, right for Nakamura. Who's it going to be? It's one vote for Naoki Nakamura. It's going to be Naoki Nakamura taking it through to the final four. And the first driver into the final four is the legend that is Naoki Nakamura.
Oh, man, it was so well deserved. I mean, you can see, to take your own words, what it means to him.
Yeah.
This is such a beautiful night for him in front of all these people. The crowd already getting stoked. They're stoked for him too. His happiness and joy and energy is incredibly contagious. You can't help but smile when you're around that man.
How can you not smile?
I know.
Look at him, he's so happy. His dream was to come back to Drift Masters for 2025 after competing in 2024, and he said he took a year out, they rebuilt, they built the new car, they built that GR86, and he said, when given the opportunity, where in the world do you want to drive? And he said, Drift Masters.
Yeah, everything they've updated in that car has now come to fruition, and it's so great to see.
It certainly is. Well, here we go. Back on the line we go. Two men that both have been on the podium in third spot in this stadium. Pavel Corpulinski did it in 2023. Adam LZ did it in 2024. One of these guys now will have the opportunity to get into that final four, to battle for a spot in the podium, on the podium. Who will it be? Corpulinski, the surgeon, clinical, super clean. LZ, the man that will risk it all for a spot on the podium.
I'm not sure who the fans are cheering for more at this point in time, because I feel like Adam has been adopted by this country.
He certainly has. He has Polish roots, we know that. Well, will the Polish roots shine through, or will the true Polishman, the hometown hero from Warsaw, reign supreme as they come off the line? It is Pavel Corpulinski to lead them out. They both go for an aggressive initiation. Corpulinski straight into it, and he knows that LZ's fast. He's turned that car up to 100 right now. They fire through the middle of the circuit. Look at Corpulinski bailing smoke from the back of that car as they get into outside zone 4. LZ tries to hang with him. He tries to dial on the angle, flicks it to more angle, and it's a mistake from LZ as he has to shortcut through the center of the circuit. Corpulinski gets into outside zone 6, but he keeps it off the wall. It's clean, it's surgical from the surgeon as he puts it across the line.
The difference between a good drifter and a great drifter is knowing what to do when there is a mistake. And Adam does have a big bobble in it, but he does such a great job of getting back into the fight without overshooting anything, without making it super apparent. Now, the keen eyes of the judges, that, you know, ourselves and a lot of the fans at home caught it pretty quick, but he does an amazing job of getting back in this fight. Corpulinski back on it is solid line. I mean, very precise all the way through every section of this run. And Adam LZ he's on it. There's so much pace in this car. There's so much speed, and his aggression is coming out, but overcooks it just a little bit. Has to add a bit more angle to kind of back out at the last section, but then uses the transitioning point to be able to get back into the battle. And you can even see it from this angle. Look at that dive right into the side of Corpulinski, and is able to hold on to that chase and that proximity through the rest of this run. So great job from Adam of making that correction, getting back in the battle without doing anything too crazy to add a detriment. So it's one of those, you've made one mistake, don't make 2 or 3 just to try and cover up the first one.
Yes, certainly so. These guys take an opportunity to quickly cool down the cars, scrub the front tyres before they pull back up to the start line. It will be Adam LZ to lead out Pavel Corpulinski. And both guys would have been on the radio to the spotters. LZ knowing he made that mistake, and I wonder if Pavel Corpulinski now is going to push hard, or will he hang back? That's the big question. Will he hold off 10%, or will he know that this means more than to hold off? And they go for it, they creep off the line. LZ to lead out Pavel Corpulinski for a spot in the final four, awaits for one of these drivers. They fire into that first outside zone. LZ into the wall, takes the back end off the car, and a groan from the judges erupts as he disposes of the back end of that car on inside zone 3. Corpulinski does hold back, now starts to rein him in. He knows that LZ's made a few mistakes. He can see the errors creeping in, and Corpulinski's just going to stamp all 40 on it right at the end of the run. They get into outside zone 6. There's a tag on the wall from LZ, and Corpulinski holds back once again as he jumps onto the back bumper across the line.
Adam going for it. He feels the weight of the mistake and just goes, okay, well, you know what? This car's sat for almost a year. It can sit a little bit longer if it has to. I'm just going to go for it and throw this car in as hard as I possibly can, and it makes for such a great show. Corpulinski holding back just a little bit through a lot of these zones, then gets to the point where Adam made his mistake previously and goes back into it. Adam trying to do a bit of a weight reduction midway through this run, and there's Corpulinski now getting into the side of him after that transition point. Adam completely locked in with those small adjustments to the wheel while the Polishman is right there hunting him down. Through these transitions, everything looks solid, and then Adam, through the last part of the zone, now tries to add that last little bit, a bit late to that zone, catching the wall, having to straighten back out, and then really grinding the back of the BMW coming across the line.
Yeah, really good scenes there, and you can see both guys out of the car, and Corpulinski took a little bit of damage to the back end of that car. He had to just refit his tailgate.
Yeah, won't take much.
That was all it was.
Yeah, the car is so clean. It might be the original vinyl all the way through, but Adams, I mean, already for one round, it shows what type of competitor he is, putting it all on the line every single run.
It certainly does. Nothing held back from Adam LZ, who's going to get the win and advance through to the final four to face off against Naoki Nakamura. Will it be LZ? Will it be Pavel Corpulinski trying to keep Poland's hopes alive right now as they both stand on the track nervously awaiting the decision? As we wait for it to drop in from our judges, look at this, they wait eagerly to see if a Polishman will continue the hunt here in Poland.
Very, very tense. And look at getting the crowd going. Getting the crowd going. So, not entirely sure what judges scrubbing back through.
Well, look at this, the white and red flags being held out to make the Polish flag around the stadium. Incredible scenes. Here we go, they slide them left for Corpulinski, right for Adam LZ. It's one vote for Corpulinski. It's Pavel Corpulinski taking the win and advancing through to the final four. And that is one happy Polish man.
So well deserved. His consistency has gotten him to this point and has led him to so many amazing events. And now he will have his work cut out for him in that top four. But for right now, bask in the glory of taking out Adam LZ, who is always welcome back at Drift Masters, and maybe one day someone will talk him back into getting back over here for a full season.
Well, who knows? You never know what's going to happen. We may see Adam LZ back for a full season. That might take some convincing.
I believe I hear the rumor mill starting up, Ian.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
You just kicked into gear.
We'll see what happens.
Okay. Here we go, back on the line. It's going to be Espen Road to take on Connor Shanahan. Espen Road been having a bit of a whale of a time this weekend.
Yeah, it's been crazy to see how his weekend has come up, but this is the opportunity he's looking for against our current champion.
It certainly is. Well, Connor Shanahan will be hoping for a clean battle and no one more times, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Has he been put through the ringer with one more times every single battle this evening here at the final of Drift Masters, and the 2025 champion will sit alongside Espen Road, and Espen Road will say, look, it's time for me to prove my worth.
Yeah, this is such a big opportunity, and another driver that you know you can go all in on and completely send it, because it's a trust fall you can accept.
It certainly is. Well, they're off the line and through the gears. Shanahan to lead out Espen Road. No messing around as he flicks that car into initiation. It's a nice line already for Connor Shanahan. He's got it dialed. Espen Road, though, keeping up with him, keeping the front end of that BMW E46 into the door and into the pocket as he flicks that car to angle to outside zone 4. Shanahan almost the whole of that GT86 in outside zone 4 as Espen Road kicks the clutch and tries to pick up the speed across the circuit, back into it once again on the transition to outside zone 6. The young Norwegian is not going to go down without a fight, that's for sure, as they go bumper to bumper across the line.
I really love Espen Road driving right now. when you're going up against somebody like this, you can just give it your all. You can completely throw that car in and not have to worry about anything. And Espen seems to be one of those drivers where he gets inspired and not intimidated by a driver of that kind of caliber. He's doing such a great job in the chase here. Connor Shanahan on it once again. We see those little bitty left foot brakes, those little bits of corrections, and Espen Rhodes use that opportunity, seeing that kind of slowing to gain that proximity as we see that sight of the Norwegian fighting through the window of the Irishman, coming through this zone. We can already tell how he's able to battle through it, and I think with just a little bit more and not much more, Espen Rhodes, once he gets that fluidity in the chase, he is going to be so difficult to beat.
It certainly is. I think this is going to come with experience in Drift Masters.
100%. And man, I mean, he's so early in this career right now.
Yeah.
To see this come up and be able to battle through a really difficult season. We saw the passion that he's got for the sport and every single mistake and what it means to him. But now he's getting this opportunity to really showcase what he's able to do.
Yeah, we already knew he was a great driver. Now we're going to see him evolve into an incredible driver.
Yeah, 100%.
In 2026, I have high hopes for Espen Rhodes.
I'm right there with you. Now he's got the opportunity to lead with that fresh air, and let's see what he does with it.
Yeah, well, here we go. They get the thumbs up all round from Martin, our starlight marshal. He's donned the bow tie for the final battles of this evening as they get off the line. It's Espen Rhodes to lead out. Connor Shanahan for a spot in the final four awaits, and Shanahan would love it nothing more than to be in there. But look at that big separation. Now reins in. The Norwegian holds back ever so slightly. He's a little reserved. Is Shanahan, and then he goes for it. The big dive into outside zone 4, glues it together as he nudges Espen Rhodes in that outside zone. Just to remind the young gun, he's still there, he's still with him as they fire into outside zone 6. Connor Shanahan's transitions don't make any sense. He's not going to give up without a fight, that's for sure, as he puts bumper to wheel across the line.
Wow, that's, man, it's tough because Espen Rhodes provided such a great opportunity. This is easily his best lead run of the entire weekend, and the hard part with that, though, is you're going against Connor Shanahan, and when you provide him a lead run that is like that, that's so chaseable, he is going to take every single advantage of it. Every transition, every zone. Wow.
That
to
was unbelievable.
tuck through at that section of the track is incredibly difficult, but it is also a testament to Rhodes driving, because Connor would not pull that off with a driver that he didn't completely trust. He already knew what this was like, and look at him locked in. I mean, whatever happens right now, Espen has got to be so proud of himself and the way he's performed tonight. He might get this win. I have no idea, but both drivers put on an absolute clinic when it came to this battle. This is, I mean, already making one of the top battles that I've seen this season, just because of how much pressure they put on each other.
It certainly is, and look at this, two young guys out of the car, and the more experienced Shanahan saying to him, one day, buddy.
Yeah.
One day.
Man. Oh, that was fun.
Gives you goosebumps watching these two guys go head-to-head from two different parts of the world, from Norway and from Ireland. Here we go, side of left for Shanahan, right for Espen Rhodes. Connor Shanahan gets one vote. It's Connor Shanahan getting the win, advancing through to the final four. And could it be the event that Connor Shanahan wished on? The pressure is relieved off his shoulders. Now it's all about having fun.
Yeah, this is nuts, Connor. I mean, still battling it out, and the quick last road on Espen. Be so proud of how far you've come this season and what you've accomplished this year and this night, and I cannot wait to see what you do next year.
Exactly that. Espen Rhodes will be back for 2026, and I think he's going to come back with a storm.
Oh, we are going to be talking about him a lot more. But for right now, this is a battle I can't wait to talk about.
It certainly is a big battle, but there is a lot in it.
Yeah. This is
how it goes.
Give it to me.
If Jack Shanahan wins this battle, he secures third place in the championship. If James Deane beats Jack Shanahan right now, not only does he start to move closer, but he has to then go and win this event to leapfrog Jack and win third spot in the championship in 2025.
Wow.
So this isn't all over for James Deane, but it could be all over for Jack Shanahan. They're off the line. This means more to both of them than ever before as they fire in to this first outside zone. Shanahan knows he could trust Deane. They've drove together constantly all season, off season. They taught each other the tricks of the trade. Jack was the master, and he understeers into the wall. Unbelievable.
What just happened to Jack Shanahan with James Deane coming around this last zone, and he's going to see the sight of his neighbor in the wall in front of him. Jack out of the car immediately.
Yeah, Jack out of the car, and it looks like there could be some fire.
All right.
No, there is no fire, just a little smoke from underneath the bonnet.
Oh, wow, Jack.
Oh, and look what it means to Jack.
The frustration.
Wow.
Oh, man. We're seeing, did he lose an engine?
I don't know what happened. And I am so interested to find out what happened.
Those emotions so justified for Jack right now. Third place is not all over, but he was ready for this to be the battle of the night.
Look at this. James Deane calms down Jack Shanahan, but as you can see, a visibly enraged Jack Shanahan, and I wonder what happened.
Coming into this zone, just the power is gone.
Just gone.
So
look at this, jumps on it, nothing, bam, the car just understeers with the amount of grip they're running. Here we go from the onboard. You see Jack set the car up, goes for it, handbrakes once again, and nothing.
He's on rev limiter right before it shuts down, but I can't even see if electronics are running. It's tough. I see a bit of a flashing light there, but either way, that car and their camera in the perfect spot to capture it. Well, James Deane drives away.
Yeah, and there's oil that has come out of the car and some smoke off the back and underneath the bonnet. And look at this, Jack Shanahan visibly upset.
Completely understandable. Wow.
Wow. Incredible. And now, well, I mean, now it's all for James Deane.
He's gotta win this event if he wants third. That's all there is to it for him.
So this is now how the tail of the tape is. You can see the contact with the wall. We're going to make it official. Slide them left for James Deane. It's the only way it can go. Jack Shanahan out of competition. You see James Deane walking back up to see Jack Shanahan. Jack unable to carry on with the wheel destroyed on the front of the car. Now this plays into the hands of James Deane. Jack can't do anything to keep hold of third in the championship.
Wow.
Well, look, as our crew are down there, they're going to remove Jack's car from the circuit. Our crew are going to clean up that oil. Becky is down there with Jack Shanahan. Becky, what exactly happened?
Jack, got it for you. Can you tell us what happened there?
I think my luck just ran out, to be honest. I'm not really too sure. We had a little bit of slight contact at the end of the first corner, and I felt like I hit him behind his wheel, so it didn't do enough to upset him or me. But I'm not too sure if we actually had a chassis point fail, because the chassis is actually bent, and I didn't hit the wall on the inside, I don't think, because I felt like I was doing all the right things. But yeah, we had obviously an oil leak as well. It's all engine oil on the ground, so hopefully the engine's okay. But I'm just disappointed because I knew we had it in us to take him down, if not take the win. And it's yeah, it's upsetting. It's very disappointing. I would have loved to put on a better show for all the people here and get on the podium. It was kind of a dream, but I guess the dream waits. So it is what it is. I just want to thank everyone for coming out. This is absolutely incredible. All the Irish people that came to support us, I hope we've done you proud. And yeah, I can take off my suit now and enjoy the rest of this amazing show myself.
Jack, don't be too hard on yourself. You put on an incredible drive, not just tonight, but also this year, and we'll be delighted to see you again very soon.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. See you soon, guys.
Well, there you go.
Wow.
So yet to find out exactly what the cause of that accident was. Jack saying that he tagged James Deane. Now, I think I speak for both of us when I say I think we both missed that.
Yeah, it's, I mean, things happen so fast and they drive with so much proximity that a bit of contact could, I mean, it slips by us on the odd occasion. And then mentioning maybe a chassis point failed and it was bent. So that contact may be worse than what he originally thought.
Now, I wonder
Subframe damage or something?
Yeah, I wonder if a front chassis point had failed. And I know there is a weak spot on the GT86 on the front. And I've heard of it before failing with other drivers in different championships around the world. And I wonder if that front chassis point failed, which made the car understeer, put him into the wall. It would be the only thing that really explained it. Yeah. And I'd say the oil has come from maybe an oil cooler or an oil line on the front of the car that's made contact with the wall and broken or failed again. And Yeah, a lot of oil down and a big clean-up because that is all of that outside zone. Pretty much you can see our road sweeper out there and our crew are going to get to work and try and get things cleaned up, ready to go. And that is our final four, Jacob, decided. So it looks like our final four is set and we are ready to head into that in a few moments' time.
Wow, this is how everything is stacking up. I mean, Paolo Corpulinski, Naoki Nakamura, a wild man versus the surgeon, and then James Deane versus Connor Shanahan. How many times have we seen these two go head-to-head?
How many times has James Deane had to try and beat both Shanahan brothers in one night?
I do remember one of the most iconic nights of Connor and James, I mean, going at it in Poland, and we'll see if this is a repeat or how this plays out.
Well, if James Deane takes the win and moves through to the final and wins that final, he will take third step on the podium, on the championship podium, sorry. And that's big for James Deane.
That's huge. That's absolutely huge. And a season that he would have wanted a championship, third, I mean, it's exactly what you want, but it's close.
It's a testament to him and the team for building that brand new Ford Mustang RTR Spec 5DM and, you know, displaying it here at Drift Masters the first time. There was a lot of doubters that said that that car wasn't very good for European drifting.
There was a lot of conversation about that as soon as it was announced, especially because it was announced only a few weeks before the first event, and they still got the car done and ready to go. But yeah, it's been really, really incredible. And for anybody that's seen him drive that chassis overseas, it is very much looking the same, but it drives very differently. He's put a lot of his own touches into it to adapt to the rules and to the tire setups here. And he's done such a great job. Yeah, it's a crazy, crazy night, man. And anything that could happen in drifting, I feel like has happened this evening.
Yeah, we've had rules, cars breaking, engines failing, you name it.
Yeah, and basically every fluid that a vehicle has somewhere on the track at some point in time.
Yeah, we've had a car buried in the wall, knocking the wall down. Yeah. We've had, you name it.
It's happened.
We've had fireworks. We've got more fireworks to come.
Oh, man. It's snow machines that don't make snow. It's just using them for fans to blow the smoke out of here. It truly, truly is incredible. As you can see, all the fans in the stands right now, a few of them getting their refreshments refilled before we get back into the action here with our track staff. Able to get things cleaned up. Already seen one of the sweepers off track with a big one left. And man, what a venue, what a place.
Well, Jacob, first year at Drift Masters, first year at a stadium event in Poland. How's it been?
Try not to get emotional about it, to be perfectly honest.
We'll save the tears for the final.
Yeah, that might happen. Just everybody get ready for me to cry on air, but it's wild. It is truly incredible, and I said it before, I cannot believe how far our sport has come. And I mean, if it's viable, I'd love to see more of these stadium events. I mean, I can't say too much about next year, but it is incredible where we're going and what's about to happen as well. I can't wait to share how next year already looks for the sport of drifting across the world.
It certainly does look interesting, and you'll find out more of that. But now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for our final four. Well, 48 drivers started off the weekend with a hope, with a dream that they would be on the grandest stage in European drifting, putting on a show in front of 50,000 people. But only 4 remain, 4 titans of drifting. And right now we have one Polish legend that holds the flag high and still supports Poland, the local man who was raised up the road from the biggest stadium in Poland. He now sits on the line against a man that did it all in Japan, an absolute legend of Japanese drifting, who now makes his mark in Europe and flies the flag for Japan high. Can Pavel Corpulinski do every single person in this stadium proud tonight and stand on the podium for Poland?
This place would erupt if that happens, but first he's got to get through Nakamura, who has never looked better. This is the fastest he's ever been, the most aggressive, the most precise. He's got the entire package to win this event already installed in his brain and in his car, and everything is just coming together for Nakamura. And Corpulinski, he's still perfect and maybe lacking that little bit of aggression that he needs to get to the top. But we saw it come out in qualifying. We saw it with that entry. He has a few more tricks left in his bag. He's got a few more things that he can do that I don't think he's pulled out yet. He's been winning through consistency and perfection of line, but that style lives deep in that man's heart, and it will come out, and it might have to come out now against one of the most stylish drifters we've got on the grid.
It might certainly have to, because this battle right now is for a spot in the final, and I know that Pavel Corpulinski would love nothing more than to head to that final and wait patiently in the back seat and see who he's going to face off against. Will it be the 2025 champion? Will it be James Deane, the multiple Drift Masters champion, the multiple European champion, the 5-time Formula Drift champion?
We will have to see. Oh, man, it is getting very, very tense.
It certainly is. Well, the cars warm the tyres on the back of the car and they pull round to get ready to grid up, to line up for a spin at the track, for a chance, for an opportunity to be in the final. As the road sweeper collects the last bits of grit and makes his way off of the circuit, we are almost ready to get this underway. The track looks good. The track looks prepared, and they are called to the line by our start line marshal, Martin.
You can cut the tension in this stadium with a knife right now. It is tense. It is very, very tense.
There we go, Martin just showing Corpulinski where the oil is. Be careful.
Yeah.
He's saying as you come off the line, be careful. He's showing Nakamura there's oil that was on the circuit. It's now cleaned up, but you need to be careful. Here we go. He tests the hydro one last time. He nods to Martin. He tightens the belts even tighter. He takes a deep breath in as Corpulinski gets ready for probably the biggest run of his career. The biggest run of 2025, a shot to be in the final. The anti-lag pops and bangs from the back of the GR86 as they come off the line. This is it, a spot in the final awaits. Will it be Poland? Will it be Japan? They flick the cars from left to right and in to outside zone 1. Nakamura shallows off the angle, gets himself into the wall but deals with it as Corpulinski once again clean. The surgeon puts on a clinic out front and opens the door for Nakamura, and he certainly does open the door as Nakamura takes a step in, he takes a step out and then back in again as Nakamura plays with Corpulinski. The grip in that car is phenomenal as Corpulinski dials on the angle, tries to shake the Japanese driver, but there's no losing Nakamura.
Yeah, Nakamura fighting through that entire run, and Corpulinski just once again going through all the thing, navigating it so expertly. He is so precise with every single movement, getting into that first outside zone. There's Nakamura waiting for his opportunity for Corpulinski to get settled so he can start to gain that proximity, gets the nose in, and you can see him fighting through it. Look at Corpulinski through this transition, nosing it just, I mean, centimeters from the wall back to it through the next outside zone. But the entire time the Japanese driver is there, not letting him get away from him for any single moment. Well, the fire pops off in the background. Corpulinski completely locked into our last outside zones, and there's Nakamura. You can see his hands weaving back and forth to try and gain as much proximity as possible to impress the judges coming through that last and final zone. And both drivers just seem completely on form and just ready to go to war as we get into the last part of this battle. And the heat is going to get turned up. This is a great run from both of them. I don't know what either one could do better in order to win this battle.
No, that was absolute perfection. Corpulinski's lead for me was just flawless. I like the way that Nakamura could play with Corpulinski, the way he was making those dives, edging that car in. Look at that. Runs the wheel all the way down the side skirt just to say to Corpulinski, I'm here. There's no shaking me. The grip in that car, the power, it's turned up to the maximum right now. And Nakamura has to sit in that lead position and say, well, now it's my turn to lead. Can I open the door for the surgeon? Can I give him an opportunity to get close and personal? Or can I drive away from him? That is what Nakamura is going to try and do. They sit on the line, the cars come off the line and through the gears. Nakamura will lead out Pavel Corpulinski as they fire into the initiation. Corpulinski goes earlier than Nakamura and uses that to fire the car up into the door of that GR86 as they come through that inner zone. Corpulinski takes the bumper off on the wall. Corpulinski's not messing around as he drags it around the circuit. He now tries to get closer to Nakamura as they fire through. Corpulinski is not messing around. He wants this more than ever. A shot for the final awaits for Corpulinski. But look at Nakamura as he flicks it to angle.
That last 5% that Corpulinski needs to win and to be on the podium podium and to potentially win this entire event was just unlocked. That transition, taking the front of that car across the wall, pulling the bumper off, that is not something he normally does. He's so calculated and would never take a risk like that. But that part, that little bit of wild that we talked about in qualifying has come out once again. Look at these transitions. Look at this on the inside. Oh my God. That's something you only see in like F1 in Monaco when they've got the wheel against the guardrail. And Corpulinski is doing the exact same thing but sideways against the Japanese driver. That is incredible, and the first time we've seen that this weekend. And he's not even fazed by it. I don't think he was even blinking. Look at that.
Wow.
Oh my God, how does Corpulinski do this? It does not make sense how he's able to do this, and Nakamura is laying down a solid lead run, but I mean, and there's nothing wrong with it. He's doing everything he's got to do, but that highlight reel shot from Corpulinski, taking a risk that normally he would never even attempt. He would not do that.
No, he certainly wouldn't. He wouldn't risk it. He wouldn't risk wrecking the car for a spot in anything. He knows you're inches away from perfection or you're inches away from complete disaster, and Corpulinski laid it down. He put it on the line out there because he knew what was at stake. There was a spot in the final.
Oh, man, that's the difference, as we talked about, between being a really good driver and a great driver, or even a legendary driver, is knowing when you need to go for that last couple of percent and do something crazy to try and get the win, and he knows it. Look at the smile. He knows
on
it.
his face says it. Oh, here we go. Start of left for Corpulinski, right for Nakamura. It's a one more time from David Kalas. It's going to be a one more time. It's a one more time. Wow, these two Titans are going backwards and forwards. This is going to end in fireworks.
Yeah, and this is also a testament to how good Nakamura's driving was, that Corpulinski does that, and he just gets a one more time out of it. So, man, now I'm curious if he keeps pulling those risks, keeps trying that stuff, or goes back to the way he was before. But, I mean, I really hope he doesn't change, because that was incredible.
So the next battle is hot and heavy. Connor Shanahan to take on James Deane. Now we know what it means for James Deane. Yeah. We know that he has to beat Connor, get him to the final, and win the final to cement himself as third place in the 2025 Drift Masters Championship.
This is it, and I mean, both of them are fighting for it. Neither one will give up, and this will not be an easy battle for either one. Connor wants to cement this as, you know, not only the champion, but the winner here. That would be absolutely perfect for him, and for James Deane is to try and recoup and get back into it and try and get it. We see more new drifting fans.
Yep, our superstars from the Race of Legends, our Red Bull Race of Legends, up there having some fun. And so surprised that every single one of them wanted to hang around this evening and enjoy the drifting, because they said they have never seen a spectacle like this before. They said 50,000 people in a stadium to watch these guys do what they do. They said it's nothing short than special.
Yeah, and this is coming from champions across so many different motorsports, and that is a testament to how amazing this sport has become.
Well, there we go. James Deane puts the thumbs up to the camera as our Wally system gets fitted to both the cars, and that Wally system has been invaluable this year, giving our judges all the help they've needed, and Race Data Labs on board for 2025, and such a good bunch of guys to have around, a good laugh, and a real good addition to the crew here at Drift Masters. And there we go, cars being warmed up on track. This is again another big battle. This is a final.
Yeah, again, that we've seen over and over again.
32 finals.
Yeah, that's basically where we're at this point. And this is very similar to the Jack battle. We'll go back to their roots of just, you know, whether it's field drifting or banging doors and low power cars. It is purely fun at this point. They both want it really, really bad, but it kind of cancels each other out, and they just go back to, let's put on the best show that we possibly can, and whoever wins, wins.
Well, look, these two Titans not only grew up next door to each other, they come from the same town, the same village as each other in Ireland. But James Deane taught Connor Shanahan the art of drifting. The first time these two went head-to-head was in a stadium in Poland in 2018. and Connor Shanahan came out victorious.
It was one of the most iconic moments in drifting history.
And it still is, and it will always be one of the most iconic drift battles we will ever see. But now, tonight, under the lights in Poland, they have to do it again. But this time, it isn't for the win. This time, it's for a spot in the final. Who will do it? Will James Deane in this brand new Ford Mustang take down the 2025 champion? Or will Connor Shanahan prove to everybody he is worth it, he is the champion, and this is why he's here? They fire into initiation. James Deane goes for it, and look at Shanahan, he's not going to back down. He's already on the front wheel of that Ford Mustang as they come through the inner zone. Both guys risk it all on the wall as they fire into outside zone 4. Shanahan with Deane, there's no getting away as Deane in and out of the zone, pumping the back bumper along the wall as they fire into outside zone 5 and across the circuit to 6. Shanahan's with him the whole way. You can't even see him as they come through their own smoke. They flick the cars to angle for outside zone 7 and across the line.
There it is. That is the type of battle that we came to expect with this. Just two drivers laying it all out on the line. I don't know if there's any tread left on those tires at this point in time. They were completely on it all the way through. Look at James Deane. Great initiation. Parallel. I mean, they're conjoined at the brain with that initiation. They both know exactly what the other person is going to do, and they seem relaxed because it's pure trust all the way through this run. Years and years and hundreds, if not thousands of laps of driving together in every type of vehicle leads to battles like this where Connor is just absolutely pushing in the door of James Deane all the way through this run. And James Deane not phased for a second. He is expecting this. He knows that is what Connor is going to do. Who pulls off another incredible transition and then is able to sink it one more time into the side of that Mustang and start to push it across the line. What a battle.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Absolutely unbelievable. We are being treated tonight.
Yeah.
Here in Poland, we said we were going to make history. We said it was going to be special, and we delivered.
Yeah, yeah. And it's not even over. This is just for a place in the finals, and we still got one more time after this to try and figure out the other side of it. If not another one more time here, I have no idea. They still got another battle to go, but
I don't think I can physically deal with any more one more times after this.
Yeah, there's we're going to be puddles on the floor by the time this is finished. This is absolutely epic.
Oh, well, there we go. They're back on the line. It will be Connor Shanahan to lead out James Deane as they sit alongside each other. The door slam closed, the cars bang into gear. Shanahan now leads out James Deane for a spot in the final and waits on. The door pops open on James Deane's Mustang. Can he get a hold of it? He can, and he slams it closed before initiation. Gets himself in to that first outside zone as James Deane now starts banging doors with Connor Shanahan. They fire through into outside zone 4. Deane holds back and now makes the dive. Now goes for the side of that GT86 as Shanahan deep into the zone. They both bang wheels. They come through the center of the circuit. Bumper to bumper transition. Deane onto the wheel, onto the door. There's no messing around. Shanahan is on a perfect line. Deane buries the headlight into the front of the car.
Oh man, that's one of those, like, you know what? I don't know if I need this car anymore. Let's just go for it. Let's completely just beat on each other's cars all the way through. Yeah, James Deane's door opening, tries to close it once, tries to close it twice, leaves it, and I think he just reaches out and grabs it. But man, gets into that initiation, and that door stays closed as he gets into the pocket of Connor Shanahan. We can see just the heat off the crowd just rippling through on these camera shots. This is nuts. And James, I mean, he would have felt how many times Connor hit the door of him, as we can see the marks of that on the side of the Mustang. And he's going to try and recoup the cost of that. I mean, with tire, with door, with vinyl, all the way through the rest of this. There's one, and I know there's more to come all the way through. Another amazing transition. Connor locked in. Well, that Ford Mustang starts hunting him down, and we can probably even see the dents added to the side of Connor Shanahan's door. There it is. The bodywork shifting. Well, the Mustang gets all the way around. That is absolutely nuts.
That certainly is. These two guys repaying the favor left to right, banging doors all the way around. For me, it was the end of the run when James Deane pushed the headlight straight into the front wing of Connor's car, and unbelievable. James Deane was like, look, it's the end of the run, I need to do something, and he forced the headlight into the wing just to say to the judges, I am right here, I'm on the door, I can't be any closer.
They're going for any advantage they can find, and these little points, like trying to end the run with a lot of proximity is just one of those things that drifters like, you know what, maybe it'll make a difference. And an entire run is like that. Like, if I get a little closer, maybe it'll make a difference. And that is what drifting is those little moments over and over and over again to lead to potentially winning a battle, an event, a series, or whatever it is. But both drivers, I mean, having that conversation about what was going on, and they love it. This is what they've given their lives to.
They certainly have, and here we go. Slide of left for Shanahan, right for James Deane. It's one vote for Conor Shanahan. It's going to be Conor Shanahan heading to the final of Drift Masters 2025. And once again, he raises his fist to the camera. The Irish fans raised the flags. They couldn't be happier right now. Well, there we go. The Irish fans still happy. They clap and they applaud. Becky Evans, our lady on the ground, our queen of the paddock, is down there with the man, James Deane.
He's not doing interview.
So sorry, James Deane has had to make his way back off the circuit, so we've had to cancel that interview. James Deane will have to go and prep the car for the 3rd and 4th place playoff. And who will he be battling, though? That's the question.
Yeah, and I mean, not to deviate too much from the story, but this will mean, because James Deane not able to win this event now, that Jack Shanahan locked in as your 3rd place for 2025. You have 2 Shanahans on the season podium at the end of the year. Incredible.
I mean, that's it. That is the championship decided.
Yeah.
Done and dusted.
Wow, now it is just left to who wins this event, which, I mean, that has its own accolades for sure.
It certainly does. And you know what? A lot of these guys will go off the back of winning this event only. They'll say, if you can win this event, you've done it.
And it's one of the incredible things with Drift Masters. Every round kind of has that own thing, whether you're crowned, you know, the Iron Drift King or the King of Riga. I mean, and in here, I mean, whatever you want to call it, the King of the stadium. I don't know. Maybe we need a name for it, but it's just winning an event holds such a massive moment in somebody's life, and it just holds its own weight.
And certainly so. You're doing it in front of all these people under the lights in this incredible stadium, this track that was built in 3 days, and it'll be torn down as soon as the final runs are done. This track will be starting to be torn down, and by tomorrow morning this will all be gone, and it'll just be a memory for all of us.
Yeah, they'll have the dozers warmed up while we are crowning our champion.
They certainly will. Well, here we go. We've got to get into it. It's time to kick off this battle. It's going to be the final battle of our final 4. Naoki Nakamura to take on Pavel Corpulinski, who will be joining Conor Shanahan in the final to battle it out for the top step, who will be joining James Deane in the 3rd and 4th place playoff for the final step on the podium. Both of these guys won it. Nakamura this weekend has been on form.
Yeah, it's just been this progression all the way through the season, but he's going up against a Corpulinski who has found another gear and another way to drive this car and doing things that we would never expect. And the question becomes, does he do it again? Does he push harder, or does he fall back to the precision that he knows so well?
Well, there we go. We're off the line. We're about to find out as Pavel Corpulinski flicks the car across the circuit. Look at that. Nakamura straight line initiation, dives straight in, dips the car down, now works his way into the door and on to the rear bumper of Pavel Corpulinski's S14. Corpulinski seems to have turned that car up, more grip than before, and it looks like Nakamura now struggling to keep up, but he does make some dives in outside zone 4. He's going to make a dive here across the circuit, and he does. As they get into outside zone 6, Corpulinski goes for it, absolutely flying, and once again Nakamura loses ground across the line.
It shows too in just the amount of smoke that's pouring out that these drivers are looking for more grip on every run. They are trying to get every single ounce out of these cars and every bit of power that they can find just to have some sort of an advantage. Corpulinski's doing that he's doing the exact same thing all the way through this. He is just pouring smoke out of this, and so is Nakamura. And I mean, maybe there's some strategy to that too. You're trying to blind your opponent through the transitions, but I mean, Nakamura feels like he was born in the smoke.
Popping a wheel off the tarmac again. Nakamura's got that car turned up to 100. Look at that.
Yeah.
Wheeling.
This is what I'm saying, the amount of grip that he is making. He is going sideways, he is burning rubber, and still lifting up the front end.
But there was points of the circuit where he couldn't keep up with Corpulinski, so how much has Corpulinski gripped up that car?
Man, all of it. 100% all of it.
He's like, take the valves out of the tires, I'm running them at 0 PSI.
Yeah, that's, you know, if they come off, they come off. I'll just do it on the wheels. So, yeah, just nuts. But it really does show how much more they find in these cars as the night goes on. More rubber goes down, and they need to find every little bit to just try and move on.
Yeah, these guys don't stop pushing the limit all the way through to the final. They'll just keep turning it up. They'll just keep letting the tyres down. They'll find more grip. They'll do more. They'll turn the boost up. They'll get more power. They'll do everything they can to get one of those trophies. And those coveted trophies stand on the top step of the podium, and there is no better feeling for these guys.
Yeah, they're starting to cut wastegate lines at this point, and anything they can do, and you know they're running the nitrous bottle hose straight into the intake, and it's just whatever's left. If we can replace it later, we got a whole off season to take care of this.
Right.
You know, send it to the moon. Let's find a piston in the parking lot later on. Who cares?
Go into the moon?
The way things are going.
Don't give away all the secrets.
Ah, you caught me. Oh man, so yeah, Nakamura needing a little bit of a cool down.
Yeah, Nakamura. Yeah, getting some fresh air in the front end of that GR86, and as we say, not a lot of airflow inside the circuit. Hence why we bring in these huge fans to try and blow the smoke out of the roof of the stadium. And Nakamura giving us a sign. I think he's hot as well as the car.
Yeah, I agree. Look at that. Getting a little fan job there to make sure he's good to go.
Yeah, it looks like one of Nakamura's crew running in to speak to him. And is there an issue? No, double thumbs up from Nakamura. It looks like he's happy, yeah. And you're probably wondering why that guy ran on circuit. That is not only Nakamura's mechanic, but also he's just translator.
Okay.
So Nakamura struggling with English, doesn't speak hardly any English. So miscommunication between our Polish start line marshal and our Japanese driver. Here we go, off the line though, no messing around. Nakamura bangs through the gears. Look at the aggression already from both guys. As Corpulinski fires in, he's on the inside of the circuit. He needs to regain some lost ground in outside zone 1 as they flick through. Play dangerous game as they squeeze those cars alongside the wall into this long outside zone 4. Door to door, wheel to wheel, as Nakamura flicks the car to angle, looking for outside zone 5. Corpulinski hunting him down on the handbrake, getting that car set up for outside zone 6 as they now go wheel to wheel, bumper to bumper. There's no messing around as Nakamura flicks it to the wall.
It becomes that question, is this enough for either driver? Both of them putting everything on the line, and it's so tough to tell. To me, I mean, it looks like Corpulinski may have held back just a bit, trying to go more for that consistency, giving Nakamura that time to settle the car before he makes his dive, and Nakamura not leaving anything to chance, going wild through these transitions. Look at the front end of that, diving back down, getting the grip, making sure there's no understeer as he comes around that concrete barrier. And yeah, it is so tight through these runs because both drivers are trying everything that they can to pick up some sort of advantage. The transitions from Corpulinski, look, he lets Nakamura settle in and then goes for the dive. Not as risky as before, maybe thinking that the craziness that he unleashed previously was his undoing, and that was why it went to it one more time. But for Nakamura, business as usual, going around this track, dragging bumpers, making smoke with a smile and 2 thumbs up the entire time.
Nakamura's car, I'm just going to say now, was so incredibly fast on that lead.
Look at that front wheel. I mean, I don't know how long it was even touching.
Off the tarmac.
Yeah, wild. The setup in that car.
Look at the squat on that car. Incredible stuff from Naoki Nakamura. And this is the Nakamura we've been waiting to see this season. Unfortunately, not really found that turn of form in 2025, but we hope to have him back for 2026. And that car stays in Europe for another year because Nakamura has been such a credit to the championship. And what a driver. And tonight, really shining through. He loves these stadium events. But who is going to take it through to the final to face off against Connor Shanahan? The judging decision isn't in. They are looking over every piece of footage, even looking down at that Race Data Labs Wally system, and the judging still in progress. Look, this is, you're seeing what the judges are seeing right now.
Yeah, so this is the replay machine. Now, they're able to flick through pretty much every, I mean, I believe every camera angle that we've got through this system.
Drone, on-board, everything.
They can slow things down, they can scrub back and forth, they can pause at any moment to try and make sure that they've got every single second of this run calculated and how it all weighs out. So flipping back through on these runs now over to Corpulinski's lead. And basically they're trying to find errors is what they're going through, because it's tough, and it shows you how incredibly these runs have begun to where they're at. This is where we're at with drifting, where we now have to take this amount of time to just look for a couple of errors to make a decision.
Well, there we go. It looks like the decision might be dropping in from our judges. And who's it going to be? as they stand patiently waiting. Pavel Corpulinski smiles for a spot in the final, or waits for one of these guys. Left for Corpulinski, right for Nakamura. It's one vote for Corpulinski. Pavel Corpulinski goes to the final of Drift Masters 2025 to face off against Shanahan, and Naoki Nakamura will have to face off against James Deane for the third step on the podium.
Wow, what a set of battles this is set up, as this crowd is going savage right now. This is wild. This place erupted, the glass is shaking. I mean, oh, wow.
Well, look, here we go. The crowd are happy, but I bet there's one man down there that is so happy. Becky is down there with Pavel Corpulinski.
Guys, the look on Pavel's face says everything. Pavel, you've got yourself into the final of the Red Bull Drift Masters final here in Warsaw. Can you even tell us what you're thinking?
I don't even know myself what I'm thinking right now. I can't describe the emotions I'm feeling with any words. It's just out of this world for me to be in this position, going into the final. It's a dream come true for me. And yeah, this will be my second Drift Masters final ever. But to got the second final in front of the home crowd on the world biggest drift event, that means a world to me.
Pavel, the crowd is going crazy for you. You must be able to hear them inside your car, outside the car.
Yeah, it's crazy when they are shouting out my name and cheering every run. It's just mental.
Fantastic. Well, we'll see you in the final. Can't wait to see what you do next. Thank you, Pavel.
Thank you very much. Yeah, look, you see what it means to Pavel Corpulinski, you see what it means to these Polish drift fans, and hope is still alive.
It's here, and no matter what else happens tonight, I think these fans are just so incredibly proud of the entire show, all of their drivers and everything that has happened. But man, what a shot and what a moment for his career. And it's still not over. More could still happen. And I would say 80% of the people in this building hope that it does.
Yeah, I mean, look, the man that is a Warsaw hometown hero, what would it mean to him to win this event?
I mean, I think he's going to get free lunch for the rest of his life if he does.
Free sandwiches up the road, that's for sure. Well, here we go. This is how it's going to head off. The playoff will be James Deane versus Naoki Nakamura, and the final will be for Pavel Corpulinski to take on Shanahan, your 2025 Drift Masters champion. I don't even know.
No.
The driving from every single one of these guys has been exceptional all day.
And we should have known. We should have known.
We should have known, but this is how Pavel Corpulinski did it. This is his road to the final. He took down Alexei Halovnia in top 32 and got the job done nice and cleanly as he took down the Ukrainian driver. And this is where he started to really hone in on that clean lead line.
Yeah, we started to see what would be what the rest of his night would look like. This precision, this ability to just run the wall all the way through without making massive contact, just scrubbing the wall at every single corner, and he did get that win in that battle, and that moved him on to Connor Falvey.
Yeah, he did. He took down the young gun, the rookie of 2024, and it wasn't going to be an easy one, that's for sure. Both these guys went at it, and look, it was a hard-fought battle. Connor Falvey wanted it so bad, but I just don't think that Pavel Corpulinski had a chink in the armor tonight.
No, and if you're going to go out, if you're going to lose, make it to, lose to someone who goes on to be on the podium. And yeah, you can already tell the momentum he's got and carried that all the way through into this Adam LZ battle.
Yeah, he did, and Adam LZ was, again, another tough contender. Adam LZ, though, putting that car into the wall, making some errors, and just, maybe feeling the pressure of the clinic, of the surgeon, that he lays down every single run of the track.
Yeah, and for some drivers, I mean, it can be like frustrating. You see a guy like that so perfect in front of you, you're trying to get some sort of mistake, and Adam pushed hard, and the excitement builds even more for Corpulinski, and that momentum once again carrying him all the way into the battle that we just saw here with Nakamura. What a time. I mean, it took one more time to get us to this point.
It certainly did. It took one more time to decide the winner of these two, because they've both been on form and on fire this weekend, and Pavel Corpulinski once again proved to everyone and the judges how flawless and how clean he can be out there on the circuit, even after he removed that front bumper on the wall. but this is the way that Conor Shanahan got it done. The first battle of the evening was against Matt Field, where it went one more time, and Matt Field looked like he had Conor Shanahan on the ropes, where Shanahan just shone through after Field made a few mistakes.
Yeah, not an easy driver to be going up against. I mean, the Beast from the Bay is one of the most aggressive competitors in drifting, period, making this big debut here at Drift Masters. And yeah, I mean, making Conor sweat. You can tell he was a little nervous even after getting that win. Wasn't quite sure how things were going to go. And then this right here, a long conversation, because Lauri Heinonen, last year's champion, has to leave due to that leak.
Yeah, one more time battle between him and Lauri Heinonen. Unfortunately, on the second run, Lauri Heinonen just couldn't put that car on circuit. And then it went down to Espen Rowe, two young guns, two young superstars of European drifting. The Norwegian couldn't hang with Conor Shanahan and did everything he could to try and put up a fight. But Shanahan, again, another driver this weekend that's just been on form all day.
Yeah, Espen put up absolutely everything, but Conor just seemed unstoppable from practice all the way through. But I mean, one of the most hard-fought battles that Conor had to go through on that run, and ultimately does get the choice from the judges and sets him up against the fellow Irishman and the icon of James Deane.
Yeah, James Deane again fell to Conor Shanahan's perfectness, his precision, his unbelievable style, and the man that's been doing so well in the championship this year, so well indeed that he managed to secure it after winning that top 32 battle against Matt Field.
Yeah, just iconic time and time again to see these two go head-to-head here in Poland, and another chapter added to that book as James Deane now into the playoffs, going to be going up against Naoki Nakamura for third place.
It certainly is. Well, here, ladies and gentlemen, this is it. This is for the third step on the podium. This is our playoffs. James Deane just couldn't do enough to take third in the championship. He'll have to settle for fourth. But can James Deane claim third step on the podium tonight here in Poland in front of these crazy crowds?
I'm sure he would love to stand on that podium with Conor and whoever else, but this will be very, very interesting to see how this all plays out. So this last spot on the podium is big. I mean, we know like Conor, Paolo are going to be there, and now it comes down to who will join them at the end of the night to raise a trophy.
Well, Naoki Nakamura has yet to get a podium in 2025. This could be the evening where it all comes alive for him, but can the man from Ireland, can the man with so many trophies, he needs another house to house them, continue that reign, continue that drive, continue the form that he's had for many, many years? He nods his head as if he's agreeing with me to say, yeah, I'm not going to give up now. I'm going to be on that third step on the podium. I'm going to spray the champagne. I'm going to celebrate with Conor Shanahan. But Naoki Nakamura slams that car into gear and says, well, you've got to go through me first. They're off the line. This is it. The third step on the podium awaits for one of these drivers as they slam through the gears. James Deane flicks the Ford Mustang across and into outside zone one. But Nakamura is flawless as always. Into the door already as Nakamura won't let James Deane get away. They flirt with danger on the wall as they get into outside zone 4. James Deane on the throttle, on the zone, in the wall, and on contact with Naoki Nakamura as they get across the circuit into outside zone 6. James Deane dials on the angle, but his contact, and did that upset the line from James Deane as they get into 7 across the line?
This is the type of battle that both of them have been looking forward to, something that is just aggressive and punchy all the way through and a bunch of contact, and we'll see how that ends up playing out because it got a little crazy there on the end from the waves in the air of the pyro going off on every run. We are using every drop of propane before we leave here tonight. And this battle is getting a lot of heat because, man, look at Nakamura. He is so aggressive in the chase right now. James Deane with that bit of a left foot brake, getting the car to rotate back around, and the Japanese driver trying to rub off any of the blue from the side of that Mustang. Look at that punch. Keep on going, James Deane. Pushes him out nice and wide to 5. And as we start to sink things in through 6, this is where things get a little bit hairy. Looks like James might have made contact with the wall first. Nakamura hits him right after that, but I mean, I could be wrong. Just out of view from the drone angle, but thankfully the judge is able to get through. And look at this shot. Man, the smoke, the light, the contact, the tires. everything that makes drifting great in one frame.
Outside zone 6, a big question mark.
Big question mark, and that is a spot that the judges will be able to go back, scrub, take a look at, and maybe it will be a part of the decision, maybe it won't be, because these two warriors are going to leave it all out here in the middle of this stadium.
They certainly are going to have to, that's for sure. And we're going to find out how it went down. You can see Nakamura taking laps of the circuit to try and cool down that GR86. We know it was hot in the last battle against Pavel Corpulinski, and now maybe it's still struggling. We can see James Deane's car taking the fans to the front, trying to cool that car down as well. I want to know what happened at outside zone 6. I am very interested to find out why James Deane struggled to get deep or on angle, big angle in that zone.
Yeah, we will see how it all plays out. It might make a big difference, it might not. It's tough to tell at this point because both of them, I mean, look at how
they're both positioned.
Yeah, and James already aggressive in the chase before Marcin even drops the light. So, we're getting a hand up.
We're getting a hand up. And it looks like Naoki Nakamura might need...
Is he saying he's okay?
Cool the car down.
How much time do we have left is the next question.
Well, we'll have 2 minutes. He's back on the line, though. So it looks like Marcin's just giving him a few moments to try and cool that car down ever so slightly more. These cars are really going through it tonight.
Yeah, they're cooking, to say the least. I mean, for lack of a better term, that's where they're at. And they've had long seasons. They've had all the abuse. And the stadium is warm. I'm sure the flames and the fans are not helping that situation. You got to remember, too, they're spending all that time sideways.
The throw of the hands of James Deane, he's saying, well, come on, let's go. I'm on the line. I'm ready to go. There we go. We get the thumbs up from our starlight marshal. He removes the fans, takes a look around, and now it's time for it. This could be the final run of our playoff battle for the third step of the podium for one of these drivers. Naoki Nakamura's put up a steely fight tonight, but so has James Deane all season. They come off the line, ready to go as both cars hop off the tarmac into gear and through across the circuit. Nakamura fires in. James Deane knows he can't let him get away. Oh, they both make contact with the wall and each other as Deane flexes the back end of that Mustang. They shallow up through inside 3, now back onto it, into outside zone 4. James Deane on the door, tagging Nakamura, not messing around, letting him know he's there, but Nakamura seems to have a little bit more pace in that car as he squeezes the throttle, tries to drive away from James Deane. It's so clean from Nakamura as he dials on the angle. Deane finds the door across the line.
The bullying of James Deane, just trying to push Nakamura around the track. Tell him, hey, let's go faster. I know you've got more pace in this car. I've seen you lifting wheels. Let's get at it. So, right off the line, look at Nakamura getting that e-brake going, and now James Deane just getting back into it. Both cars making contact, then into the wall, but they do a great job of collecting the inside clip through this transition. Amazing work, and then James Deane back on the hunt, popping through the smoke and getting into the door one more time of Nakamura. Look at this. Anytime Naoki makes some sort of correction, James Deane punishes him for it. If there is any slowing whatsoever from a left foot brake, maybe even just the slightest of lift, James Deane is there to accent it and tell him, no, let's just go. And you can see him in the corner, they're stoked. This is the type of driving every drifter lives for. They want this. They want to be just beating each other up all the way around the track. It is a fist fight in two cars.
It certainly is a fist fight in two cars. Look at this, and James Deane, look at that, the flex of the door, the flex of the bumper. He takes a little panel off the side of Nakamura's GR86. They get into it, both guys out of the car. They're having so much fun this evening. But as much fun as it is, only one of them can take third step on the podium. The judges going over the scores, deliberating it. What's it going to be? It looks like the scores are dropping in for one of these guys. Who's going to take third step on the podium at the final Drift Masters? The Red Bull Drift Masters finale 2025 here in Warsaw. Who is it going to be? The decision's in. Left for Deane, right for Nakamura. It's one vote for Nakamura. It's Naoki Nakamura getting the win and taking third step on the podium. That means James Deane finishes up in 4th place here at Drift Masters, and Nakamura puts his hands in the air and waves to the crowd. What a weekend for him.
And what a season for him to come off previously being in Drift Masters and things not going the way that he wanted, to now being back here at the final round and getting that podium under his belt. Things are only looking up for Nakamura and for James Deane. I mean, a hard-fought battle, and man, this is definitely not the last you're going to see of James Deane Excited to see what he's able to do.
Exactly that. Well, there you go. You can see cars down on circuit, warming tyres, ready for it. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the final. Everything for these guys have come down to this. Shanahan has done it. He's won the 2025 Drift Masters Championship. But can he seal the deal? Can he seal it right now in front of Poland, in front of everyone watching online and in the house? Or will Paweł Corpulinski take him down? Will Paweł Corpulinski, the hometown hero, finally win a round of Drift Masters?
This is huge for both of them. Connor needs this. He needs to cement it that he didn't just win the championship, that he dominated the championship. He wants every single point that he can get. And for Paweł Corpulinski, he needs this in front of his friends, his family, his countrymen, everybody in attendance right now. This place will erupt the moment these lights go off for the final set of runs in 2025.
Well, here we go. They're off the line and through the gears. It's going to be Corpulinski to lead out Shanahan for a spot on the top step of the podium, and they get into it straight away. No messing around as Shanahan fires his GT86 onto the door of Paweł Corpulinski. Brave transitions from the Irishman as the Polishman puts the bumper to the wall and leads them around the outside zone. They look for 5, they transition for 6. Shanahan goes for it. He's not messing around. He wants to get the job done right here, right now, as he goes for it once again. Both onto the wall and across the line.
The Surgeon and the Shadow going at it head-to-head, showing off the things that they do the best. Corpulinski, one of the best lead drivers in drifting, period, full stop. Versus Connor Shanahan, one of the best chase drivers in drifting, period, full stop. This is what you want a final set of runs to be. Corpulinski completely locked in all the way through. Connor Shanahan locked in all the way through. Man, a battle of wills, a battle of skills, and we get to go along for the ride. I don't want to critique this. I just want to sit and absorb everything that we get to witness right now, Ian. This is what I signed up for. This is what we're all here for. This is drifting in 2025.
This is motorsport entertainment. This is what it's all about. This is the show. This is Drift Masters, ladies and gentlemen. And look at this as two guys go head to head. Unbelievable. The lead line once again from Paweł Corpulinski was flawless, absolutely clinical. And as we say, the Shadow, Connor Shanahan, couldn't be shaken. He was there every single turn of the track, every transition. It was bumper to bumper. This is what we've come to expect from these guys who've gone head to head all season. They've honed their skills and now they're putting them all on track here in Poland. They pull to the line, which could be for the final time of 2025 as these guys now get ready for the final run of competition, potentially. We don't know, we hope, because my voice might not make it through another battle.
I don't know if my nerves or my blood pressure or anybody else's will be able to make it through it. This could be your final run of this Drift Masters season, and what a season it has been.
Well, there we go, the Polish flags are waving, the Irish flags are waving, everyone around the stadium is on the edge of their seat to see who'll be crowned the winner of round 7. Paweł Corpulinski creeps off the line, they slam through the gears, Shanahan to lead out Corpulinski for the final time in 2025. They hammer into that first outside zone, they both take a shallow line, they both want to drive away from each other. Corpulinski's on the door, they go bumper to bumper on the transitions. Corpulinski tucks up into formation on outside zone, he dials more angle on it than Shanahan does in outside zone 4. They fly through outside zone 5, and once again the transition makes no sense as Shanahan goes for it. Look at Corpulinski on the front wheel, he wants this more than ever as Corpulinski climbs the front wheel of Shanahan's 86 across the line.
The aggression he needed, the thing that he needed most, he unleashed at the last moment. Paweł Corpulinski taking that precision, the perfection that he is so well known for, and now bringing out that raw dog in him to be able to go out and just take it to Connor Shanahan. This is exactly what he had to do, Ian. This is what he had to do to just try and have a shot at winning this event. Connor Shanahan out there once again. I mean, all the pressure, none of the pressure, I don't know, because he is just out there running the event and running the drifting like he was born to do. He's one of the few drivers that has just been raised in drifting since day one, and look at the way this has turned out for him. both these drivers, I mean, they seem so calm, even though the weight of the drifting world sits on their shoulders tonight.
It certainly does. The weight of everyone from their country sits on their shoulders. Look at that. Shanahan looks over to see where Corpulinski is as they finish up the run. They both jump out of the car. Wow. Yeah. What a final. What an event. Poland has once again delivered us an incredible story, an incredible moment in European drifting. Driftmasters once again creates history here in Poland.
This is exactly how this season should wrap up. This is poetic. It is perfect. Two drivers at the absolute top of their games, fighting for so much national pride, and man, I have no idea which way this is going to go.
Well, here we go. The Corpulinski Polish flag flies. The Irish flags fly. Everybody waits for the decision to drop in. Who will be your winner of round 7, 2025, the grand finale, the Red Bull Driftmasters finale? Everyone is pumped. The judges drop their scores into the system, and we wait to see who gets it done. Corpulinski believes he's done it. Shanahan believes he's done it, but nobody knows apart from the judges. Here we go. Slide them left for Corpulinski, right for Conor Shanahan. It's one vote for Corpulinski. It's a one more time from Vernon. It's a one more time. We're going to go at it again. Oh, I don't know if I have the mental capacity or the voice or anything to do that again. David Kalas, what are you doing to us?
Actually, I decided, but I understand what the other judges were saying. Everything comes to the second run and that contact before the finish line. For me, it was not a huge problem, as it was not upsetting the leader much. However, the other two judges said that that contact was a bit too much to allow for the win of Pavel, so they wanted to see it one more time.
Thank you very much, David, I think.
Yeah.
I'll ask you that same question.
I mean, he had a decision. It's the other two judges we're going to have a conversation with. But you know what? I'm all right with one more time.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I don't know when we've rented this stadium to, but we're going to use every single minute that we can.
Well, I mean, the show doesn't finish straight after the final run. If you're here in attendance, hang around, because we do put on quite a show here at Driftmasters. We obviously do our round podium, and then we move on to our championship podium, and then we turn the lights off in the stadium, and we put on one hell of a show here at Driftmasters. But we have to do it all over again.
All right. All right. Where do they clean things up? Do they get more aggressive? Do they get less aggressive? Like, what do you need to do to take home the win here in Poland?
I don't actually know.
Neither do I. Neither do I, and I'm not sure if anybody does at this point. The fans, they're pumped. They're here for it. They're getting every single cent of this ticket. They're getting such an amazing experience, and everybody at home sitting, watching on the edge of their seats. This is a season for the record books for sure.
Well, 2026 is around the corner, and let me tell you, it's going to be the biggest season of Driftmasters ever. That's all I'm saying for now.
Okay.
Before I get fired.
We're doing a lot of hints here, man.
Listen, I'm just trying to build everyone up, because this is the end of the road. The circus finishes here. We all go away for the winter and pack everything up. We wait till summer comes back around, and then we roll this circus all back around Europe once again.
Maybe we can convince them to start it earlier. We'll see.
We'll see.
I don't know if I can wait that long.
No?
I don't know.
They do a winter series?
Maybe. Never know. Crazier things have happened.
Crazier things have happened.
Man, this is, what a year. What a year so far. I know it's not over, but I mean, if I can for a moment, I just want to thank everybody, all the fans of Driftmasters for welcoming me with open arms. It's been an incredible year.
Well, you haven't signed a contract for 2026, so don't get too comfortable. Your feet are not under the table just yet.
Ah, thanks, big guy. No, this has been incredible this season. The drivers, everybody, it's wild, and I mean, it's a dream come true for so many people, including myself, to be here tonight. And I just want to take a moment to thank everyone for being so welcoming.
It's been a pleasure. You've been a great co-host alongside me in the commentary booth, and we've had a lot of fun in 2025, and no doubt that will carry on for many years ahead. We've got an incredible season ahead of us. We already know what's going on behind the scenes of what Driftmasters have in plans, and the show is going to only get bigger. And I hope you guys are all along with us for the ride as we take this crazy circus once again around some of the most beautiful countries in Europe and put on, without doubt, the best drift show in the world.
Yes, it is wild. It is absolutely wild. So, yeah, man, this has been just a crazy one from the beginning, and the craziness of what happened with the first round and moving things to the second and the impacts there. You know, going to Finland and the fans there, which are just epic to say the least. It's just, you know, Ireland getting to be there in Mondello and you know, seeing the roots of Irish drifting in full form, seeing these drivers in their home country in front of those fans. Germany with some of the loudest fans we've ever heard. Riga, a crazy, crazy time with high-speed entries and everything just leading up to this moment of 50,000+ people packed into a stadium in Poland one more time in the finals, a championship decided with insane results. And yeah, man, I don't know how else to sum up this year other than one of the best years of my entire life.
Well, there you go. That's Drift Masters for you. And here we go. We're down in the paddock, scenes of the Shanahan pits. And you can see Jack giving Connor some advice there. You know, what more of a better spotter do you need than Jack Shanahan, a man that's just done it all. Won events, won championships, and he now sits in the sidelines watching his brother on, hoping that his brother can win this event, hoping that he can win this event to back up the championship that he won earlier on today. And you can see crews down there working on the car, not only the Shanahan team working on the car, but also Clint Van Oort's team, DBM Engineering down there working on the car, helping him, good friends of the Shanahans, trying to make sure that car is 110% ready to go out and do battle against Pavel Corpulinski. And you can see Jack even helping strap his brother into the car.
Yeah, I mean, that's got to be a bit of a throwback to their younger days when, you know, Connor was so young and so little and probably couldn't even reach up to be able to get himself strapped in. It's it really is incredible as Pavel Corpulinski ready to go, locked in and meditating, his Buddhist monk just chilled out and trying to visualize how he takes down the wild Irishman.
And there we go. It looks like Shanahan in the car, ready to go. He gives his team one last fist bump, one last handshake, and Peter stands in the sidelines watching his fellow Polishman sit in the car, ready to do battle, wishing him all the best of luck, hoping that Poland can stand on top step of the podium tonight here in Poland. Yeah, the pressure from both these drivers and taking it, it's just two different ways. You've got the solitude from Corpulinski and the community that is around Connor Shanahan, getting him hyped up. One wants calm and quiet, the other wants loud and cheering. But both of them will come out of this tunnel and we will get things underway here very, very shortly. Yeah, so we have a little show on the track right now, and that is those guys out doing some motorbike stunts, keeping our fans entertained, and the car slam into gear, and now our drivers will make their way out of the tunnel into the arena, into the octagon, to warm the tyres on the back of those cars and get ready to do it all over again, Jacob.
Here we go, Ian. Here we go. It's all on the line. One more time, the last time. This is it.
Yep, there can't be no more one more times after this. Our judges have to come to a decision after this battle, so it will be decided right here in this one more time. Look at both these guys in the car, cool, calm and collected, focused on the job in hand. Peter makes his way out onto the circuit. He wants to watch to see what's going on. He dons the race suit, ready for the championship podium ceremony. And they head out, ready to warm the tyres for the final time of 2025.
Here we go. The ritual begins of scrubbing those tires in, getting the heat in the front, a little bit of understeer, some scrub, burning off that release agent on the rears, and getting everything to that perfect temperature. They do it by feel. They know the moment that tire is in the perfect operating window, and then pull up to the line next to their competitor and hope that they've got a little bit more left in the tank to take them out. The finals will be decided right now under the lights in the stadium, and we're all along for the ride.
We certainly are all along for the ride as the flags once again come out and get waved nice and high. Kind of Shanahan pulls to the middle of the circuit and he says, I'm ready. The car is ready, I'm ready. It's time to do it as Pavel Corpulinski makes his way around towards the start line. One last chance to get some heat in those rear tyres. They pull up to the start line. Our start line marshal, Marcin, will pull them into order. And the higher qualifier, Pavel Corpulinski, will lead first.
Making that choice, sticking with it, staying out front, going with what he knows.
And not one driver opted to swap today.
Wow.
They all went in traditional form, the higher qualifier first. Here we go, the 22-year-old from Ireland sits in the car ready. Look at the breathing from Pavel Corpulinski. You can see him, every single breath means something. He's holding on to it. He wants this more than ever. He now feels how Shanahan is in the lead and the chase. It's time for him to lead them out. This is it. This is for the final of Drift Masters, Red Bull Drift Masters finale here in Poland. They fire in as Corpulinski leads them through. Shanahan onto the door already. Corpulinski turns the heat up to 11, goes close to the wall, hoping that Shanahan can't make it through, but he does. And Shanahan dials in the angle. Corpulinski makes an error, wobbles away from the wall, and that's the first chink in the armour we've seen from the Polishman as he fires in to outside zone 6. Shanahan's with him. They both wobble once again as Shanahan fires through the smoke, looks for Corpulinski, but he's out of the outside zone. Corpulinski not looking as good as he did.
What is going on? What has happened to Corpulinski? Is the car on its last legs? Is it running out of steam? I mean, he was not able to really hold it in that zone. What is happening? These vehicles, I mean, there's not much left of anything. The energy left just to try and get through. Corpulinski really good through that inside clip, and that inside clip, man, this is tight. Outside zone looks phenomenal. There's Connor Shanahan just trying to fight through it, gets into the side of him. A decent little tap, but Corpulinski not phased even for a moment. But the story comes down to these last outside zones where Corpulinski seems to come off it just a little bit, whether that was contact with Connor, the vehicle giving up its last legs, or Corpulinski making a mistake that so rarely happens. You can't even tell through the smoke.
I think Corpulinski made an error. He was way off of the wall in that final outside zone, and I think as he came out of 6, he tried to correct, tried to get himself back into it, and I don't think that he could get the back end of that car in there, and he knew he couldn't stamp on the foot brake, so he had to just ride it out. I wonder how the judges are looking at this. They're deliberating, they're talking about it. There's still one run in the bag left to go. This is the final run of the final of the Red Bull Drift Masters Grand Finale here at the PGE Narodowy in Poland. Everything this year has come down to this.
One battle for history. Everyone is on their feet. Everybody in this stadium right now is collectively holding their breath, waiting for those lights to go out. Corpulinski gets the fans on just a little bit, try and drop those temps. I mean, still a wave, but still locked in. He's ready to go. Connor Shanahan knows there was a mistake, but sometimes knowing your competitor has messed up, you know, how does that play in your brain? Do you know you have to be perfect? You go, I have a bit of room. Do you take the chance? What do you do in this moment?
You go for it. That's what you do, and you go for it right now. You come off the line. Everybody here in Poland is on their feet. They're ready for it. They're excited for it. As Shanahan fires in that GT86 into that first outside zone, Corpulinski goes for it. Dials on the angle, almost goes backwards into that first outside zone. They come through inside zone 3. Back onto it once again. Corpulinski can't shake Shanahan. They're on it, door to door. Shanahan goes nice and deep into outside zone 4, but he now tries to drive away from the Polishman, but he can't seem to as he checks up, going into outside zone 6. A tag on the door from Corpulinski. They go wheel to wheel. Corpulinski trying not to make contact, and they shadow up the angle across the line.
This is one of those situations where both drivers know they have to be absolutely perfect. There's some uncertainty on that first run as to what happened. It might have been Corpulinski making a mistake. It might have been contact. We're not 100% sure yet, so neither driver can lift at any moment. They've got to be perfect because either one could go out. Any mistake, mechanical, driver, anything could completely change this result. So what you are seeing is Connor Shanahan striving for perfection. Corpulinski with the chase of his life, knowing that he's got to be close, but does not want to get into the side of Shanahan. He doesn't want any doubt in the mind of the judges. And look at this, the precision to get into the side without ever making contact. That is incredibly difficult to do, but both drivers seem so on form for this final run of the season. I can't believe we're here.
And here we are. We're seeing the beautiful onboard images from our Red Bull Media House. As you can see, Connor Shanahan dialed into the zone. And look at this, no mistake on outside zone 6 for Shanahan. Still wonder what happened with Corpulinski. We'll find out another time, because the decision has been made. It has to have been made, and it is in who is going to be the winner of the final round of 2025 as we see these last shots, and Corpulinski smiles as he looks across at the big screen and says, what a day, what a weekend, what an event, what a 2025 championship it has been. Well, here we go. Everything's off. This is it. This is for the final. This is for the top step on the podium. Who is the winner of round 7? Slide of left for Corpulinski, right for Shanahan, and it's going to be Connor Shanahan. Yeah. Connor Shanahan wins round 7 of Drift Masters 2025, and he is the 2025 Drift Masters champion.
What a way to wrap it up, and just absolutely showing his dominance in this season, continuing that points gap and going, this was not a fluke. I came here and I dominated this season. Connor Shanahan, one of the greatest of all time, and proving it one more time. And for Pavel Corpulinski, it is so rare for him to make a mistake, and unfortunate this time it happened at the one moment you don't want it to, but still a driver that one day will be a champion, I guarantee it. But right now, all eyes on our event winner and our season champion, the Irishman, Connor the Shadow Shanahan.
It certainly is, and you know what? That is fuel in the tank for Corpulinski. Corpulinski now has fuel in the tank for 2026 to say, I can do it. I can come back bigger and stronger than ever before. You can see everyone down there on track congratulating our drivers. It's almost time to head over to Becky. She's down there with Connor Shanahan, not only our winner, but our 2025 Drift Masters champion. Becky, it's over to you.
Connor, a perfect event almost for you. You are our 2025 champion. You have won round 7 of Drift Masters this year. What an incredible evening for you. I can see the emotions coming to your face. Can you give us a few words?
Yeah, just lost for words, to be honest. I was a little annoyed when I won the championship today. You know, there was a lot of hate online and it was out of my control. I wasn't the one who broke Vinesek's car, and I felt sorry for him as much as anybody here in the stands or at home. So I said to my spotter, job on, let's show them why we're the champion. 3 wins, 4 podiums, what a year. I dedicate this championship to my team. Unbelievable, from start to finish, they proved it again. Not one problem with this car from the start of the season till the finish, until the axle yesterday, tires and fuel all year long. My incredible sponsors, DBM Engineering, Race Winning Brands, for giving me an incredible engine package this year. Everybody who makes this possible, I can't thank everyone enough. I'm living the dream, what I wanted as a kid. We stand here as a 2-time champion. Drove hard tonight to make sure that we got the win. Corpulinski had me on the ropes, not gonna lie, but I knew if I could keep pulling off the clean lead runs that maybe there was an error coming on his side. But thank you everybody, Killabollen. I cannot wait to come home. I can't wait to come home and enjoy all this moment with you guys. To my friends, my family, my mom and dad, Jack for building one of the best drift cars that I've ever drove in the world. Actually, not one of the best, the best drift car in the world. What a night for the Shanahans. What a night for Ireland. 2-time champion, it does not sound real.
Connor, do you go back to the drawing board now, take a look at things, repower, get yourself ready for next year, or is it time for a break?
Yeah, definitely time for a break. I don't know what's next, to be honest. I don't know what I'm going to do. I have to, you know, sit down and think about what the plan is, but, you know, the goal of winning championships has never changed, and that will never change. And I feel like I'm driving better now than I ever have, and I feel like we've built an incredible, strong team in Europe what can go on to win many championships, whether it's me driving or Jack driving. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, Poland, for one of the most memorable nights of my life alongside 2023. You guys have a huge heart for drifting. Vinesk, congrats in 2nd place. My brother, congrats in 3rd. What a moment.
Connor, congratulations. You are the 2025 champion and our Red Bull Drift Masters final winner.
Well, there you go. That is it. And this is how it stands. The results for the final of Drift Masters round 7. Connor Shanahan gets the win. Pavel Corpulinski takes 2nd place. Naoki Nakamura takes 3rd. James Deane comes 4th. What a day, what a weekend, what an event. And there we go, as we tumble down the order of how these guys finished up, and you can see every single driver on there not only drove their heart out tonight, but all season, Jacob.
Yeah, every person, I mean, on this grid has, I mean, they've given their lives to this, and this is the way it goes, but incredible, incredible time.
And there he is, Peter Vinesk, our 2nd place in the championship, from a man that had heartbreak in Spain to second place in the championship, and this is the driver standings. The final time you'll see him in 2025. Shanahan wins it with 490 points. Peter comes into second place with 406, and Jack Shanahan takes third with 351. Pavel Corpulinski ended up leapfrogging James Deane to take fourth in the championship. But look at that. Look, it's time to head back down to Becky. She's with the man who just took second step on the podium. Becky's with the one and only, the Polish hero, Pavel Corpulinski.
Pavel, an incredible night for you tonight. Congratulations on taking second spot on the podium. It was a hard fight with the one more times. My goodness, what is the plan next?
Yeah, it was a really tough battle against Connor, and I made a slight mistake on my lead run in the OMT. So Connor got the win. Congratulations to him. He is also the champion of 2025. So yeah, it was a tough one. But it's the second place is a dream come true for me anyways, so I'm super happy. I was enjoying every battle, every run, and I can't be more thankful to all the people, to the organization, to Drift Masters that made such an event possible. It's a great honor for me to be here, so thank you guys. Dziękuję bardzo wszystkim za doping, byliście niesamowici.
Position in the championship. You managed to get second this year. You had a third last year. Are we going to see a absolutely hungry for the championship Pavel next year?
Yeah, of course we need to work good in the off season to be well prepared for the next season. But of course, second place on the final round is it's a good thing. It's a great way to finish this season. So of course we soon need to start planning the next season. Yeah, I actually lost my voice already because of all the celebrations when I got out of the car. Sorry.
Thank you so much, Pavel. Congratulations.
Well, there we go. The lights dim at the PGE Narodowy, and they display the Irish flag for our 2025 champion, and it is almost time to get our podium underway. What these guys have done this weekend has been nothing short of spectacular.
I would extend that to what these drivers have done this season. Every single one of them have shown up, whether it is for one round or all of them. They've given their lives, they've given up weekends, they've given up so much just to have a shot at greatness. So thank you so much to those drivers for putting everything into this sport, for our entertainment, our enjoy, and for your legacy. All of you are heroes, all of you are winners, and you deserve everything in the world. This has been an incredible year.
And there we go. Conor Shanahan down there with good friends and team and extended family from other teams around the paddock that are wishing him well, and he's going up there now to get that podium underway. And Conor Shanahan still can't believe that not only did he win the event, but he won the championship.
So deserving, and he's done so much to get here. He's driven every single moment that he possibly can, anywhere that he possibly can, and it's deserving. It is so deserving that this, from a tiny little town in Ireland, from this little family, you know, go check out the history of this family, because it is incredible what they have had to go through to get to this point. And yeah, I mean, it is wild, and it is inspiring that this family has come as far as they have.
It's incredible.
It is.
Absolutely incredible. I don't know what's in the water down there in Kellevolin, but I'm going to go and take a sip out of the natural well, that's for sure, because I tell you what, these drivers, James Deane, Jack Shanahan, Conor Shanahan, have just been absolutely flawless, and you can see now everybody's starting to make their way onto the track to celebrate with these guys as Pavel Corpulinski dons the Polish flag and prepares to take the second step on the podium. Our CEOs and vice presidents down there, Eric and Adam Krochak, ready to hand out those final trophies, those final celebrations, and you can see those guys on the podium. Naoki Nakamura, what a guy. I'm so glad that he made the return back to Drift Masters for 2025, and there he is, third step on the podium. What a weekend.
Yeah, so easy to call things after an incredibly rough season earlier on, but he's made all the strides. He's come back with the force, and he showed why he is the legend that he is. It's drivers that don't give up. They just improve and keep trying to do more. 4 that get to this step.
And there he is, Paweł Corpulinski takes the second step on the podium with that Polish flag donned on his back and receives the trophy and the check, and he'll get that bottle of champagne, that's for sure, before the evening's out. And we wait to see Conor Shanahan take the top step of the podium for the final time in 2025.
Man, yeah, Corpulinski, he is just a name to remember, and once again, putting his mark on this sport, and will continue to do so for years to come. And soon, very soon, we will see him on the top step. But tonight is not the case, because that place is occupied by Mr. Conor Shanahan.
It certainly is. Well, there he is. Conor Shanahan takes the top step, takes the first place trophy, and accepts everything from everyone around and says, look at that. A sigh of relief, I think, was just exhaled from Conor Shanahan after receiving that trophy.
Yeah, and completely understandable. And now we hear the national anthem.
But there we go, the national anthem of Ireland plays aloud in the stadium. And Conor Shanahan, you can see what it meant to him. A little emotion in the eye, a little glint maybe.
Yeah, this is just an excellent way to wrap up the entire season, is by doing it on the top step for the event. I mean, not only winning the championship, but getting first place here is just even more to add to it. Is now the champagne starts to fly, and Corpulinski, I mean, Conor, great driver, apparently not amazing with the old bottle.
Yeah, Nakamura as well, another driver. They're just struggling to try and pop that cork as the confetti cannons erupt over the stadium, and all of the fans stand on their feet and congratulate these guys. Conor Shanahan asking Paweł Corpulinski to take the cork off his bottle. Incredible.
You think for the amount of times he's done it, he'd be a little better at it, but either way, the adrenaline, everything else, it's wild. It's absolutely wild, and there we go. Able to take that sip and spray down his competitor. What a fantastic sight. What an iconic sight here in Poland.
Well, one more podium to go once these guys have took a step back, and it will be the championship podium where we will see two brothers and Peter Vinesk. But right now, let's take a look at Conor Shanahan's 2025 season. This is how it all went down. Well, there we go. That's how Conor Shanahan did it in 2025. From the beginning to the end, it was thrills, spills, it was highs, there was lows. It had everything. And right now we go to our 2025 season podium, where these guys will be crowned the winners first and second. You can see how many people have now made it down onto the track or around the edge of the circuit, all of the teams. And taking third step on the podium is Jack Shanahan. Hard-fought battle, a tough year, and not the way he wanted tonight to end off, but hey, that's motorsport, that's the way it goes.
Yeah, that is the way it goes, and he truly does build, I mean, right now it's proven the best chassis, I mean, in Europe, potentially even in the world. And Jack Shanahan, I mean, not just an incredible driver, but obviously builder, and now standing quite near Piotr Vinesk, taking second in the season.
Yeah, he certainly did. Peter, unfortunately, another driver going out this weekend, not the way we would have wanted, but look, still smiling, still happy, second in the championship after, we say, heartbreak in Spain at round 2. And up next, this man, Conor Shanahan. Well, he was leading the points in 2023. He won the championship here in 2023. And in 2025, he did it again. He led the points, and then he won the championship here under the lights of the PGE Narodowy. Poland, Warsaw holds a special place in the heart of Conor Shanahan. And look at this, the two brothers on the podium, and what a feeling that is for Conor Shanahan, a two-time Drift Masters champion.
Yeah, winning one championship, there'll always be the doubter. Someone say, oh, you had a bit of luck. Right now, though, he has quieted them all down. He has proven he is one of the greats, will always be one of the greats, and he has so much of his career still yet to happen. He is a young driver with a hunger in his heart and so much aggression and precision. He is the embodiment of drifting right now, Conor Shanahan.
Well, there we go. The final podium of 2025 done and dusted, and we now let our photographers take those last photos before we completely turn off all the lights and put on a fireworks show inside this stadium. And what a spectacle it is to be seen if you've never seen it before. Drift Masters really know how to throw out the last party before we say goodbye and head off into the distance before we come back for 2026.
It's so hard to even think that this season is wrapped up. It feels like yesterday. I mean, getting told what was going to happen this year, and here we are. We're wrapping it all up, and once again, the drivers get to hear that beautiful national anthem.
That's it. The national anthem of Ireland plays out loud once again around the PGE Narodowy here in Poland, as these guys now get to spray the champagne once again. Conor already absolutely doused in it. Can he get the top off this time? That's the big question.
There he goes. Jack beat him on that one.
Conor once again struggling.
I think they're doing it on purpose. They're gluing it down on him, but either way, the celebration, the streamers, the fans, everything. This is what a way to end a season.
It certainly is. As you can see the scenes there on the podium, everybody celebrating, and Peter Vinesk, although it might have been heartbreak earlier on, the pressure of a championship is lifted off his shoulders, and everything that he'd done could be done, and what couldn't be fixed. And now we're going to turn off the lights here and put on a show for everybody at Drift Masters to say goodbye.
Yeah, thank you and goodbye to everybody at home, everybody in the stands, and yourself, Ian, the production team, media, everybody that puts their heart and soul into the sport. From all of us, thank you so much.
Yeah, it's been amazing. It's been an incredible year, and you can see down there these guys still chatting, still having a conversation. They don't want to leave the podium.
No, I wouldn't want to either. I don't want to leave the booth.
So there we go. Yeah, they're waiting for the fireworks. Here we go. Yeah, Conor Shanahan just saying we need to get down because the fireworks are going to go off soon. So they're going to collect their trophies and make their way off of that podium and exit the stage, and then see the PGE Narodowy is nearly empty. Everyone's saying goodbye. Right, ladies and gentlemen, from everybody at Drift Masters, from behind the scenes, everybody at Red Bull TV, from Becky, from Jacob, from myself, it's been an absolute pleasure. It's goodbye for now, but we'll see you in 2026. Goodbye.